Now the whole class had physical education. It was a physical training class. To warm up, they ran a marathon, and the posts started playing volleyball. There was a couple behind the fence not watching them practice. One of the students could not stand it and went up to the Tong teacher. She whispered to her that the guy had been standing there for a long time and staring at them. The Tong teacher immediately went to deal with him, saying that he must be a pervert who likes to look at girls during training. Let them now watch how she deals with him. The student told her to be careful. Well, something didn't go according to plan. One student yelled at the Tong teacher that it was not good. The student shouted to the teacher that Yuzai had passed out. The Tong teacher immediately rushed to help the student and shouted for everyone to disperse. She's already on her way. The Tong teacher ran up to his student and bent over her. She assessed the situation and said that it looked like she had sunstroke. She shouted for everyone to disperse and not disturb the air circulation. She will now perform artificial respiration, you see. She started CPR on her and told the girl to hold on. But there was no reaction. She commanded the house to her tormentors to help her carry her to the doctor. But then the guy who was staring at them came up and told him to calm down. The Tong teacher started yelling at him and asking if he hadn't just been peeping. What is he doing here? He must stay away from her students. This guy gestured for her to be quiet. Then he told teacher Tong that the student might have fainted due to a heart attack. The Tong teacher looked a little scared. The guy said that he saw that when running, her movements were constrained. It is very dangerous for her life. Tong master tried to calm Yuzai and told her not to worry. And again turning to this guy, she asked him what did he really say that it was life-threatening. Why should she trust him? Just then, a female student came up and told the Tong teacher that she remembered that Yuzai had told her that she lost consciousness and was taken to the hospital with high blood pressure. She nearly died along the way. But Yuzai must have medicine in his pocket. The Tong teacher immediately started looking for this medicine in Yuzai's pockets. Soon she found a bottle in one of her pockets. She said it was indeed a bottle of medicine. But she opened it and asked if it was empty. Smells just awful. This guy inhaled the smell of this medicine and said that for sure she fainted due to a heart attack. That smell, it's a traditional Chinese medicine for heart care, and whoever prescribed it is an expert. The Tong teacher looked at him questioningly. Then he asked the guy, who is he? The guy said that he was studying Chinese medicine and his name was Xiong Yu. Teacher Tong has already begun to address him. I call him Dr. Xiong. She asked him if there was another way to wake her up. Xiong Yu got up and said CPR and chest massage. The Tong teacher also got up and, coming close to Xiong Yu, said that she had just performed artificial respiration and heart massage on her, but there was no effect, and he himself saw it. Xiong Yu said that the girl fainted due to a heart attack. This is not normal for an ordinary person, so strong lungs are needed in order to give proper artificial respiration. He can save her, but he must do it in 10 minutes or she will be in danger. The Tong teacher thought for a while and said that it was good, let him help her. Xiong Yu stretched his arms and said that he is Dorfloro and it is his duty to save her life and help the Tong teacher. And he asked the teacher if she could turn away. If not, he still won't back down. The Tong teacher tensed up and thought she wouldn't back down. What does he want to do? She turned away and thought maybe she was thinking too much. He was able to show up here because he is one of the school doctors. After all, you sit out, for which their school can get into trouble. Then she said it was good. She yelled at all her students to turn away and not turn around. Then she turned back to Dr. Xiong and told him that he could start, because no one was looking at him anymore. Xiong Yu told the Tong master that there is a saying that there are no men or women in front of a doctor. All he does is save people. She shouldn't fuss, otherwise it won't be good. You can't put off saving anyone. At this, the Tong teacher broke down and started yelling at him, saying that she thought it had already been 9 minutes. Let him stop scratching his tongue already and hurry up and save her. Xiong Yu said that it was good, after which he pulled up the student's t-shirt. The Tong teacher didn't like it and she told him to stop it immediately. What does he even do? Xiong Yu said that of course he takes off his bra. She's a gym teacher and should know some basic things, but she doesn't even know that. When rescuing a patient, one must make sure that nothing is blocking the patient's chest. This is basic knowledge. After removing this student's bra, Dr. Xiong began to examine it. The Tong teacher asked if something was wrong. Xiong Yu's nose bled again and said it was pink. The Tong teacher started yelling at him again and asked if he could be more serious. He must hurry and rescue her. Only 30 seconds left. Dr. Xiong removed the bra, said that 30 seconds is enough. He will show his unique way of saving people, and not just have to wait a bit. The Tong teacher continued to watch inattentively and said it was good. And she herself thought that the future physical education teacher in a taxi was very nervous in critical situations. But then she noticed what this Dr. Xiong was doing. He stood on one arm above the student's head. The Tong teacher started shouting again and asked him what is he doing. He should save her faster, no need to do acrobatics now. At that moment, Dr. Qiu Hu touched this student's chest with his hand. At that moment, Yu Zai came to her senses. The Tong teacher said she reacted. Dr. Qiu said it's time. Now he will inject his true Kai into her. He gave her artificial respiration. Looking at this whole picture, the Tong teacher was confused. At this point, the teacher decided to look around. She exhaled and thought that, fortunately, everything worked out. If Yu Zai were seen like this, her reputation would really be ruined. Dr. Qiu stood up again and said it was ready. He told the Tong teacher that she would wake up in 2 minutes. The Tong teacher asked, is it really true? Dr. Qiu said that she had already regained consciousness, so he leaves first, but if there is any problem, he will be in the headmaster's office. The Tong teacher said it was good. The Tong teacher looked a little embarrassed and thought, is it really in the headmaster's office? The school hospital is run by President Qiu. Sounds like a new doctor, right? The doctor who was brought with President Qiu himself is not easy, and he seems to be her age. Someone Dr. Qiu stopped and spoke to the Tong teacher again. He asked her if she could tell me where the director's office was. The Tong teacher began to explain to him that after this building, you need to go 1 kilometer to the east. There is a director's office, but he doesn't even know where the headmaster's office is, so does he even know the headmaster of this school? That teacher was called by a student and said that Yu Si woke up. The Tong teacher immediately rushed to his student. She asked Yu Zai if she felt better, and told the rest of the students that they could all rest and she will take care of it herself. Yu Zai said that she felt a little better. It's all her old disease. She didn't expect the symptoms to show up so often lately. The Tong teacher said that if that was the case, then she might be in danger. She won't be able to do it in the future. Such heavy exercises are really very dangerous. Yu11 told the Tong teacher that she had a very strange dream. This dream was about a man who was treating her. She looked at her chest and asked the teacher what had happened. Why did her bra disappear? The Tong master hesitated. Because she didn't know what to answer, she herself thought that Xiong Yu must have put the bra in his pocket on purpose. It was only her fault that she ignored his actions. She helped her student up and said that she would help her get to the hospital so that she could rest there. If we lose consciousness next time, then she will help to remove the bra in order to avoid pressure on the chest, and give it to one of her friends. Today she forgot who she gave it to, but she will find out later. Yu Zai thanked the teacher. Meanwhile, the Tong teacher thought that Dr. Qiu had said that he would go to the headmaster's office. She has to find him quickly and return the EU with her bra, otherwise she will be in trouble. Meanwhile, Dr. Qiu kept looking for the principal's office. He walked around the school and thought it must be here. He has already walked 1 kilometer to get here. It is really worth it to work at the best university in China. Then he saw a sign on which it was written that this was the director's office. He knocked on the sea as he entered the office and apologized for the disturbance. He entered the office and asked, "What is the office of the headmaster of Qiu School?" The woman said, "Yes, that's right." The man who was now talking to this woman looked at Dr. Qiu with displeasure. Dr. Sen thought that Qiu Hong Xin looked very handsome, with a perfect body, her cold expression. The man stood up and asked the doctor that his name was Xiong Yu, right? He approached him and said that his name was Long Tenny and he was Zin's friend. He extended his hand to him and said that he is the general manager of the Dragon Group, and he himself thought that he was one of the authorities of this world, and he was just garbage that could not be compared with him. Dr. Qiu thought that a friend. When he met girl Q a month ago, he did not say that Zin had a boyfriend. What was their recent relationship like? Instead of shaking the man's hand, he grabbed his index finger and said his name was Zhu, and he is then the Qing royal family and the groom Zin. Shadow Long was very angry with her. He held up his hand and said, "Doctor, that he was an ordinary person, he was just a puppet. He and Zin are free to love each other, and the Zin family knows him too," and asked the doctor if he's ever met Blue before, and what is their relationship with her. Will his family accept Zin? And most importantly, will Zin accept it? Meanwhile, the director was watching their conversations, thought Long Shadow deserved to be the general manager. His quick reaction is not comparable to ordinary people. He is a talented doctoral student at Harvard University in the USA. In addition, he is the youngest and doctoral student. He was only 26 years old when he graduated. In addition, he was always considered a rare genius. A doctoral student is a scientist who is preparing to defend a doctoral dissertation. Dr. Qiu told Long Shadow that his name is very famous, but he doesn't speak very well. And that's proof that he hasn't read the books in the last few years, is it? Long shadowed him angry and said that over the past few years, but read a lot of books. He can ask him about anything or even he hasn't read the books in recent years. Dr. Qiu calmly told him that he read a lot of books such as Guaman, Rimmon, Hanman, Mayman, Solo Leveling, Player Reborn, and others. Together they can circle the earth twice, but they were never part of the school curriculum. Long asked the doctor like a shadow if comics were books. Does he underestimate him? He had just told him that he couldn't speak well. He wants to know, like he said earlier, it was good, right? Dr. Qiu told him not to insult comics. Then he will teach him. He will ask him. And I asked him what Chinese civilization has enjoyed the most respect for thousands of years. Long Shadow breathed a sigh of relief, said he asked. This, of course, this is filial piety. Director Qiu tensed up and thought it was bad. Dr. Qiu told him that it was good, filial piety. His marriage to Xin was blessed by their ancestors, and if they disobey this, they violate their filial duty, and that would be disrespectful of them. There will be no place between heaven and earth where he can show himself after that. He will have to suffer the punishment of the sky and 5 thunders. He knows that there are many beautiful girls who admire him and even want to marry him, but he does not agree. He's right, he's never seen blue, and this further proves his dedication. Still, he took a big risk when he came back here. He pointed at the principal and said that even if Xin was an ugly monster, then he had to marry her. Director Qiu stood up and told Dr. Qiu that he had just said that there are many beautiful women who admire him, and those who want to marry him, right? Dr. Qiu said yes, but let her be sure that he was only friends with them. He never did anything that could make her regret it. Director Qiu told him that since they admire him and even want to marry him, they must have feelings for him, right? She goes home, asks her grandfather to end their marriage. She will give him a generous compensation that will last for the rest of his life. Dr. Qiu asked her that he understood that if he agreed to terminate their prenuptial agreement, then he would give him a tidy sum, right? Director Qiu said yes, that's right. He must say how much does he want. Dr. Qiu asked her how much her family costs, and pointing his finger at the Long Shadow, he told her to send this guy first. Long, like a shadow, became very angry and, grabbing him by the collar, told him what was he talking about. Director Qiu said with a shadow that he must be busy. Long walked past Dr. Qiu like a shadow and told him that he was waiting for him. Dr. Qiu told him to go out and close the door behind him. When they were alone, Dr. Qiu told Xin that he had said that even if she found a fake boyfriend to trick him, she should find someone who looked like her. This person doesn't seem good. Xin thought this guy was really extraordinary. He could see it, but no matter how good he is, she won't marry someone she doesn't like. And then I decided to ask him directly, how can they get rid of the marriage contract? Dr. Qiu said no way. This is his duty to his grandfather. Before his death, he promised him that he would marry her and give him many grandchildren. Sai got very angry and thought that he was an asshole. Does he think she's an old pig? Then she told him that besides money, as long as he promises to terminate the marriage contract, she can give him whatever he wants. Dr. Qiu said that sounds very tempting, but he wants to ask if she can give him some beautiful girls. When he came to her school, he found beautiful girls like clouds. Couldn't she have given them to him? Because in this there is no one who can compare with her. Xin wanted to hit him, but Dr. Qiu managed to dodge. She told him that the beauty he wants. He is a jerk and shameless. At least he knows that more than 40,000 people study at this school. 60% of them are students and 40% are from a beautiful girl. She was about to kick him, but Dr. Qiu still deftly dodged all of her kicks. She told him that he, with a total of 15,000 men, really dared. I thought that all 15,000 beauties would be needed for this. Dr. Qiu told her that she seemed to have been studying martial arts since she was a child. But then he looked down and his nose bled again. Xin stopped trying to hit him. She said he was a pervert, but then she could not stand it and tried to hit him again. Dr. Qiu remained as calm as ever and said that it was not bad for her. Her legs were clean and tidy. She attacks him with full force. The only pity is that it is unstable. He tripped her up and she fell on the table. Dr. Qiu walked up to her and grabbed her 2 hands. Xin was pressed against the table and thought that she had studied kung fu since early childhood and was no longer weak. But she did not expect him to be so strong that he offered no resistance. She told him to let her go quickly or he would regret it. Dr. Qiu told her that if he let her go, she would hit him again. Therefore, he thinks that for a start he should tie her up. And he took out a Yuzai bra from his pocket and said he uses it. Xin got angry and told him that he had actually taken it as an adult. He is a pervert. He must let her go, otherwise she will tell her grandfather about everything. Dr. Qiu didn't listen to her and tied her up with this bra. He dusted off his palms and said it was ready. Xin started crying and called him names, saying that no one had ever insulted her since childhood. Will she really finish him off? Dr. Qiu sat down in her place and said that it was good that they could now discuss their marriage. He checked the calendar for next Friday. This is an auspicious day, although they will have little time. but as long as they do everything quickly, then there should be no problems. Xin told him to wait, because if he wanted it so much, she would tell Grandpa. He will make the decision for her. Dr. Qiu said that he had already spoken to Grandpa Qiu, and he told him then that Xin is a very good girl, but she has a bad temper. Grandpa Qiu learns about his skills. He said that he can give himself up in front of her. Xin was surprised and thought, why is the villager's grandfather on Xiong Yu's side? Is she his granddaughter? And she told Dr. Qiu that she knew that he was her diet. Once we met and talked for almost 4 hours, even though she doesn't know what he said, but the teacher Tong knocked on the door there. She asked the director that Dr. Qiu was here. Xin thought that the Tong had come to the Qiu, which was very strange, since this was the first time this person had returned to Shanghai in order to come to their school. How could she know where he was? Tong Xin just called him a doctor, which means he told her he was going to her office, right? Dr. Qiu told her to come in. Xin got angry and asked him, what? Who pulled his tongue? And quickly turned her back on him. The Tong teacher entered the room. The director asked her why she needed Dr. Qiu. The Tong teacher told the principal that she had come to Dr. Qiu for a bra. The principal blushed and thought that the bra that Xiong Yu used to bind her hands belonged to a student. We see that the relationship between these two has become quite close. Even if there is a relationship between them, then Tong Xin is not a fool. So why did the wife openly come to her office for a bra? She began to examine her and thought that the sportswear she wears is very tight. But she can't make out if she's wearing a bra. The Thong teacher's bra is now in her arms. If Xiong Yu returns his Tong Xin, he must untie her hands. And do the Tong Xin know that her hands are bound by her bra? Yes, Dr. Qiu said that the Tong teacher was here to accuse him of stealing a bra. He repents that he is to blame. He forgot to return it. The Tong teacher blushed and said it was her fault. She should have asked him about it earlier. The principal had already begun to think and thought that the two must have hidden themselves in the far corner of the campus. Dr. Qiu took off her bra and put it in his pocket. After the incident, someone happened to pass by, and the two of them were so busy cleaning up their clothes that Dr. Qiu forgot to return the bra. Of course, the Tong teacher knows about her relationship with Dr. Qiu and doesn't want them to be together, so she came here to make a drama, didn't she? Dr. Qiu got up and told the teacher that this bra, he used it. The director was invited. He thought what he was doing. Dr. Qiu approached the teacher and told her that he would leave her to use this bra. He would return it later. Oh, okay. The director sighed. The Tong teacher blushed and thought that Dr. Zeng wanted to use Yu Zai's bra, but for what? The Dong teacher wanted to say something, but the director could not stand it and interrupted her, saying that it was good if she didn't need anything else, then let her return to the classroom. But she interrupted and already leaving told the director that then she would go to class, and she herself thought that something had really happened to Director Qiu. There is something wrong here. The director Samat thought that she didn't expect the Tong teacher to look like this. They still have a relationship. Dr. Qiu and Master Tong, how shameless. After that, the director told Dr. Qiu that she would give him 100 million to help Tong Xin marry him. Does he agree? Dr. Zhu said Teacher Tong is fine too. If she really wants to follow him, then he won't refuse. But their prenuptial agreement cannot be terminated. Xin told him that in order to terminate this marriage contract, she did not know how many reasons she came up with, how many times she felt depressed, how many nights she suffered from insomnia, how many times she asked her grandfather. But it was all useless. He has to get out, he has to go as soon as possible. She doesn't want to see him. Dr. Qiu said that would not work. After all, he is her fiancé, and this marriage was concluded by her grandfather and his grandfather. When the two old men agreed, no family can annul this marriage without consent. If she doesn't believe him, then she can go home and ask her grandfather and her father who was there at the time. The director no longer knew what to say, and asked him why he would agree to a divorce. Dr. Qiu told her that he didn't think it was possible, since this enemy was installed by his grandfather and her grandfather. She also knows that he is very well brought up, especially obedience. Grandpa Qiu said that her suit is too big, her butt is too wooden, her waist is too thin, and her skin is too white. The principal told him that she would warn him if he realized the marriage should be annulled and she could try to meet his demands. Otherwise, even if she reluctantly marries him, there will be nothing in the house. Hysteria every day before. Dr. Qiu said no problem, but her family has money. After they get married, he will hire many nanas, cooks, cleaners, and so on. She won't have to do anything. Even if he loses his temper, he can bear it. In addition, after the wedding, they generally do not need to meet during the day. She, as a wife, will only need to sleep with him at night. At that moment, the blue finally burst out. She threw her bra right in his face and told him to get out. He must get out of here now and as quickly as possible, and never see her again. Dr. Qiu said it wouldn't work. Her grandfather asked him to come to her, and also allowed him to work at her school so that he could earn money. Does she really not understand what he wants to do? Xin asked him what is his education? School, undergraduate or postgraduate? Dr. Qiu said he had been traveling with his grandfather since he was a child, and today is his first time at school. Or could he get an education? Xin asked him what is his specialty? Dr. Qiu said that this is not an easy question. He has a couple of rather unremarkable specialties, which are medicine and martial arts. Xin told him that, first of all, there was no need for kung fu. For her, this skill is useless. In her school there is a guard, namely SWAT. Here it is not needed. As for medical skills, there are many talents in the hospital of their school. There are over 20 chief doctors and deputy chief doctors, as well as 30 general doctors. One of them returned after completing his doctoral work in the USA. With decades of clinical experience, he has published 10 articles in the most prestigious medical journals in the US and the world. Xiong is not needed at all. Xiong asked if Miao Zhen had returned from studying abroad, or was she a doctor of science with 10 years of experience with 10 articles in a world medical journal. Sounds like a seasoned doctor. Is she arranging a meeting for them? Xin said it was good. She will take him to the school hospital so that he can see the wife's Miao skills. They got into the car and drove to the school hospital. Xiong said that her school is very big. You even have to use transport to get around. Xin said that, of course, because their school is the best university in Shanghai. The hospital attached to the school is also one of the best in the entire city. By the way, the person he meets later is called Miao Ram. She is her classmate and a very nice girl. She returned home and wanted to work with the biggest hospital in Xiao Chen No after she gave her the Jihu department. Miao no longer hesitated and refused the preferential terms of the first Xiao Chen People's Hospital. She came here to be the school doctor. In short, her medical abilities are very clear. Soon she will try to convince him. Xiong told his wife that she is a school principal and drives such a car. Xin asked that he even listens to her. Xiong told her to trade it for his bike instead. He thinks this car suits his personality very well. Xin yelled at him to shut up. He doesn't know shame at all. Then they arrived at their destination. Xin stopped and said that this is it, this is their school hospital. They went inside. Xin told him that Dr. Miao Zhen is inside now, but she is very busy, so they will wait here. The girl who was standing next to him asked him if he wasn't going to help. Xiong told her that the doctor inside is very good, but she is busy treating a female student, so he won't interfere with her. He looked at the girl and thought, is this the girl he just saved? He asked if this student had not woken up. Why is she in a coma again? The girl told the doctor that after Yusi woke up with her, everything was fine. However, the bra was not found. The Tong teacher told her that she gave it to the students in their class. But after Yusi came to her senses, the Tong teacher allowed them to practice on their own and left the playground. She doesn't know where she went, and now her classmates are making fun of Yuzai. It's just arrogance. It was said that when Mr. Qiu performed CPR on Yuzai, he touched her chest, after which Yuzai turned red and her breathing quickened. After that, she was immediately taken to the school hospital. And right at the entrance to the hospital, she lost consciousness. Hearing the whole story, the headmaster let out a breath and thought that she must have misunderstood the Tong teacher. And menacingly, looking at her husband, she thought that she would tell her grandfather everything. Dr. Qiu said that the student who intends to force Yuzai to be active was really cruel. He just wanted Yusi to live. Dr. Qiu intervened in their conversation, saying that using the tools of Western medicine is the same as fast food. More harm than good for the body. In addition, it can be tested. It can show the result right now. Just let him. Miao wives asked who is this. Xin told her that his name was Xiong Yu and he was friends with her family. Miao Zhen asked him if he was also studying medicine. Dr. Fin said that, yes, they are partners with her. Miao Zhen asked him if he was a graduate. Wherein and what specialty did he study? Dr. Qiu said that he had never been to a university. His grandfather taught him Chinese medicine. Miao wives asked what Chinese medicine, and she herself thought that despite the fact that she studied Western medicine, she was also able to conduct research in the field of Chinese medicine. Many families of Chinese doctors have inherited medicines for generations, most of which have a real effect and should not be underestimated. She then told Dr. Qiu to diagnose with Chinese medicine. Dr. Qiu told her that yes, she had guidance. If so, let her back his lollipop, okay? And he told the director to watch and study. He approached the student and took out a vial from his jacket and said that traditional Chinese medicine pays great attention to detail. He will only look at her and be able to say that the reason is in the heart, and this is very serious. Conventional methods will not be able to bring her to consciousness in order to wake her up. It remains only to use needles. Miao Zhen thought that the reasons for crossing the silver game are more complex than the impulse method. It is necessary not only to know all the acupuncture points and functions of the human body, it is necessary to be extremely precise in order not to damage the patient's body. However, those who dare to use this method are considered masters. Xin asked him if he was sure about it. Dr. Qiu said he couldn't be sure, but he should try. However, she just said that Dr. Wives is a PhD who has returned from abroad. She has been practicing for 10 years. If she wasn't there, who would she turn to? Xin asked the Miao women what would be the risk. Miao wife said maybe not. She watched carefully. His face was very confident. He must be confident. In addition, heart problems can only be diagnosed by the machine. But he immediately saw that she was sick, so he really has the skills. Dr. Qiu asked his wife what she was doing faster. Take off her shirt. Otherwise, how could he use needles? Xin said it was good. She told him that she took off her shirt. He can start. She will warn him if she needs to stop. Dr. Qiu concentrated his forces. He felt her heartbeat and found the right spot. After that, he applied the medical skills of Xingjia. Yu Zai began to tremble. The director said that there is a reaction. Miao Zhen said it was incredible. Dr. Qiu thought that Yu Zai's disease was unusual, and his 5-needle application method was successful. Otherwise, it might have ended badly. Right now, he must concentrate his efforts in order to get the needles. A minute later, when he took out these needles, he checked her breathing and said that her breathing was even and her pulse was normal. This is very good. After all, her condition stabilized, and he pulled out a silver corner. Miao Zhen thanked him. She said that his medical skills were indeed very high. If he has the opportunity, then she would like to ask him for a couple of tips. Dr. Qiu took his chupa chups back and said he didn't give advice. If possible, he can discuss this with a narrow circle of doctors, but he does not have a medical qualification. And doctors stop looking down on him when they see his skills. Xin thought that this guy, his medical skills are brilliant, but he doesn't have a certificate of medical qualification. Isn't this the rumored wild doctor? However, regardless of his medical skills, it is illegal to help people without being qualified. Although he does not have a medical certificate of qualification, this is a rare occurrence. Miao Zhen went to the principal and asked him what she had just said, that they were friends. Then did she know how old he was and how he was able to acquire such high skills at such a young age. He has a good character. Xin said that his grandfather was one of China's great fighters. He had to associate with him since childhood. In medicine, he is good from his grandfather and his character. She can say that she knows a person and knows how he looks, but she cannot know what is going on in his heart. He is always very serious, but who knows what he is thinking. Meanwhile, Dr. Qiu had already gone outside and thought that today he went out without looking at his diary. Initially, he wanted to talk to Xin about marriage, but he did not expect to be rejected. He inexplicably cured the disease twice, but everything is very good. And luckily, he was doing ophthalmology, a quick look, as if a person is trying to write off a test for dent. In general, this is a branch of medicine that deals with eye diseases since childhood. And also he managed to throw a few more glances while no one was looking. He was again covered with wear and tear and blood, and he thought that today he also pleased his eye. So good to have such a proud figure at a young age. After all, he had it too when he was younger. When he was simply curing an illness, he saw her hand. That Yu Zai suddenly woke up. She sat up and started coughing up blood. Dr. Qiu looked at his hand and thought it was very bad. Miao Zhen said that Yu Zai was vomiting blood. Yu Zai threw up and fell down again. Xin said, "How can this be?" Dr. Qiu rushed back to the hospital, saying that this student's life was in danger. Yu Zai lost consciousness again. Director Xin said there was so much blood vomit. What the hell happened? Dr. Miao Zhen said she didn't know, as this is the first time she has experienced something like this. Xin offered to take her to the emergency room. Dr. Miao Zhen said that she could only do that, and she asked Xin to come to help her, and she asked Yu Zai if she could hear her. Dr. Qiu burst into the office and told them to stop and not touch her. He came closer and said that this student is now in danger. As soon as she touches it, she will immediately die. Dr. Miao Wives asked him why did he come back? Dr. Qiu said time is running out, and asked the doctor's wife to help him disinfect the silver needles. He will give her a boost first. He wants to make a concrete decision. The doctor said it was good. Dr. Qiu approached the female student and thought that of course he was careless. This girl has been suffering from heart failure for many years, and she cannot bear it. 5-pin life-saving method. That's why she has such a strong reaction. Why should it be boiled in warm water and treated slowly? The wife's doctor told him that the silver needle had been disinfected, and I asked him what's next. The doctor looked at the needles all the way and said that she had just warmed up. She did great. The doctor wives thanked him. Dr. Qiu started using his needles again and told the girls to step back and not get in his way. They should let him do it. He started sticking needles in her. Then he began to give her artificial respiration. The director could not stand it and asked him, what is he doing? He must remove his hands immediately. But the wife's doctor stopped her and told her to be quiet. Before, he should massage Yu's eye and cleanse her meridians. She thinks he's focused on saving the man. His character must be good. He is not what she thinks. Xin said she still didn't believe him. Meanwhile, Dr. Qiu exhaled, said that he had finally ended the dangerous period. It is very difficult to work with such a serious patient. Fortunately, he once treated a similar patient with his grandfather. Otherwise, he would not have been able to help her today. Xin thought that his grandfather was a very important figure in the field of Chinese medicine in China. Therefore, it is not surprising that he can engage in this type of treatment. Dr. Zhen asked her what her condition was, but Dr. Qiu crushed her and said that there is no threat to life yet, but this girl's heart is really very weak. He needs to be taken care of. He can no longer be strongly stimulated. She has fallen asleep and will wake up soon. She had such a serious illness. She has had a difficult life since childhood. Xin told him that she also knew a little about acupuncture. But why did you need a breast massage after acupuncture? What does he do about her illness? Dr. Qiu said that it had nothing to do with curing the disease. He thinks that she is in the developmental stage. And by the way, he helped her increase elasticity. In the future, she will become the center of everyone's attention. In addition, they should pay attention to equal exchange. He helped her twice today. But he didn't charge any fees even for medical expenses. But be that as it may, he can help her. Let her be sure that it will be free. And it will definitely work. Xin told him to keep his mouth shut and not touch her. Who from the office burst teacher Tong. She told the wife's doctor that she had heard that Yusi was here. They cured her and many thanks to them for that. She said that the principal and Dr. Qiu were also here. The wife's doctor told her that it wasn't her, but Master Qiu saved her. Dr. Qiu told Xin that it was almost 12. He made an appointment with 2 buddies after he has eaten. He will come back to her. The Tong teacher also thanked him. Dr. Qiu said that if he didn't drink too much, he would come back here. Then he said goodbye to everyone. Xin thought he was a jerk. Dr. Zhen thought that the traditional Chinese ancestral medicine was really incomprehensible. Master Tong thought Dr. Qiu had saved Yu's eye twice today. What a wonderful person he is. A doctor wives ran up to her and asked them to quickly help her put the clothes on her. Yu's eye woke up and asked if she had passed out again. Where is she? The wife's doctor told her that this was the school hospital and asked her how she felt. Yu11 told the Tong teacher that she was just on the sports ground and then she woke up here. She asked who saved her and what method did he use. The Tong teacher told her not to worry, the situation was urgent. Luckily, Mr. Qiu, Director Qiu's friend, passed by and rescued her. Yu's eye asked the director where her friend was. She wanted to see him. Director Qiu said that he had already left. Yu's eye asked permission from the director to disturb you again. She asked me to give her his mobile phone number. Does she want to meet him? Director Qiu said that her mobile phone is in the office now. When she returns, she will send it. When she finds his number, and she herself thought that how could she get his number. Yu's eye said that she was fine and thanked her director again. She said she's a little embarrassed cause it's Friday and she wants to rest. Director Qiu said that she was fine, but she was in poor health. She will tell the Tong teacher to help her. Yu's eye got together and the director decided to take her. Already at the door, the director told the wife's doctor that they would go first. She worked hard today. The wife's doctor said it was her duty, and she herself thought that now she did not help much because she did everything with Dr. Qiu. She returned half a year ago because she finished her studies, but after today's events, she just realized that there is a person who is more capable than her. It looks like she still has room for improvement. 1 hour later, the director was in her office. She looked out the window and thought that before Yu Zai's illness, even Dr. Zhan was helpless. But Xiong Yu's skills really impressed her. When she was young, her clothes traveled all over the world to heal and save people. She encountered a large number of patients with incurable diseases. She had to study. If he had a medical qualification at such a young age, then he was sure to become as important a figure as her grandfather. At present, if she wants to let him take her as his wife, then she must not allow it. No matter who he becomes, he will still haunt her. He is so difficult. She must figure out how to make him completely surrender. There was a phone call. It was Dr. Wives. She thought, is it possible that Yu Zai's illness has resumed again? She picked up the phone and asked, is Yu Si really bad again? The wife's doctor said no, but she had something to say. What the doctor told her angered the director very much. She asked her that she understood correctly what she said. Let her wait for her in the cafe, she will come right away. They met in a cafe some time later. The director asked her if he really wanted to retire. The wife's doctor said that she was thinking about preparing to go abroad to practice and improve her own abilities, and then she will come back to help her. Xin asked her if it was her decision because of Yu Zai's illness. The wife's doctor said yes, she was thinking about her, and she shouldn't talk her out of it. Xin told her that she did not dissuade her, but the internal medicine department was the busiest at the school, and she was the most qualified of all the medical staff. She should stay for a while and appoint a senior doctor or recommend a suitable person if she wants to leave. The wife's doctor told her that she really understood the situation, and currently there is one most suitable candidate. She thinks that if she offers him a position, he will not refuse it. Xin asked her what she meant by Dr. Qiu. The wife's doctor said that yes, his medical skills are so good that even she admires them, and the base salary is 50,000. This is a very attractive treasure. Xin said that her base salary is 50,000, but if he comes, his salary will certainly be equal to that of ordinary doctors. Moreover, this guy is studying Chinese medicine, and she needs doctors. The wife's doctor told her that the purpose of their school's hospital was to save people. If the patient recovers, it does not matter which method is used. If he comes, she assumes that all other departments will have less workload, and the blankets of Chinese medicine are sure to expand. Xin said it was possible. She herself thought that when she thought about Dr. Qiu's behavior in her office, she was so angry that she couldn't think straight. She needs to ask him. Dr. Wien said it's fine. Let her give her Dr. Qiu's number and she will invite him for her. Xin hesitated. The wife's doctor told her that she should not just say that she did not know his number. Xin said that she really did not know, although their families are longtime friends. But they met today for the first time. He did not call her at the gate, so the wife's doctor said that then she should know where he lives. She can go to his house in order to find him. Xin hesitated again and did not know what to say to her. The wife's doctor said that he didn't even know where he lived. Can this be called an old friendship? Xin said that. However, the doctor of Zion did not achieve his goal today, and he will definitely return. She will call her when he comes. The wife's doctor said it was good. If you believe her intuition, then he will definitely stay. Okay, then she'll be waiting for her call, but she's still sure he'll stay, despite the fact that the monthly salary will be only 10,000 yuan. Zinni asked her that if Dr. Qiu didn't agree to become a school doctor, she couldn't leave, could she? She thought that she really did not want to accept this jerk. She thought that the doctor of the wives admired him too much. She is strongly opposed to him becoming a doctor at their school. The wife's doctor told her not to keep her. She decided she would go to the United States to continue his studies regardless of Dr. Qiu's decision. Xin said that it was good to decide all the same to her. But if Dr. Qiu refuses to be the school doctor, then she won't be able to leave. Wife's doctor said she had already decided she should try to keep him. Meanwhile, Xiong Yu was walking to his house. He thought that his grandfather had left him less than 2,000 in cash, and he's already spent over 1,000 to get back to the mall. With the exception of money for food and water, he was left with nothing. Fortunately, he rented this apartment. Although it is not in the best condition, it is still cheaper than renting. But he was met in the apartment by a US tenant. He asked her why she was in his apartment. The woman started yelling at him and told him why couldn't she be here. She rented this apartment for him. Let's say that she chased him away for several days, but this is unintentional. When will he pay the rent? Xiong Yu showed her a bag of food and said that he had not eaten yet. Let him eat. He just bought a pork chop on the street. He's going to cook some damn pork noodles. The woman told him that he is a man. He can say what he wants, but the deadline has already passed. His rent has been deferred by a whole month. Her patience is not limitless. If he didn't pay the rent today, she'd throw him out of the house. Xiong Yu told her that the rent problem could be solved very quickly. Today he found his super rich daughter-in-law, but there are some problems. He guarantees that no later than tomorrow the rent will be transferred to her and will be paid within 1 year. The woman could not stand it. She began to scream, asking what he was. Can't he justify his high-ick? He will have a super rich bride, but will she love him? She seems to have been too lenient with him. For a whole month he relaxed after she ate with him 3 times every day. If he can't afford the rent, then she'll pull out all his stuff. Let him see how poor he is. This is his last chance. She hugged him and said that he had a miserable and fat daughter-in-law. She is very hopeful for this rent. She wants her girl to be able to go to school. It is very difficult for her to wait a month, so let him hurry up and pay the rent. Xiong Yu said that he swears and does not lie to her. Tomorrow he will find his fiancée and ask for some money. He will certainly be able to return the rent and even interest. The woman said he promised. She will believe him again, but tomorrow he has to pay the money. Xiong Yu said that, of course, he always speaks the truth. He promises that if he cannot pay the rent, he will leave immediately. The woman asked him what he was going to cook for dinner. Xiong Yu thought that of course the ginger was still old and spicy, and told her that he would cook everything what she wants, but he has no money, otherwise he would definitely cook a sumptuous dinner. The woman called him an asshole and said he just wanted her to pay for the vegetables. Xiong Yu asked the woman if his daughter could come and eat here. The woman said that she had gone out with her classmates and would not have dinner at home. Xiong Yu because she can't eat here with him, but he had to meet two families. Have they been waiting for him for almost a month? First he can cook food and then go to the market. Let two families wait for him for a while. The woman dropped the bags out of fright and said no. Her daughter's name is Yang Jai, and she said that Xiong Yu didn't have money for food, so she bought vegetables for him. And this she is going to cook for him. And he asked his daughter that didn't she arrange a meeting with her classmates? Why did she come back so suddenly? Yang Jia said that her friend became ill and went home. Their meeting was cancelled. Hei didn't like that either, and she didn't even know she wasn't home. In that case, she secretly allowed Xiong Yu's brother to cook a delicious meal for her. Mom told her that she had indeed bought food for Xiong Yu. She can ask him if you don't believe her. Then Xiong Yu rushed in and said yes. He stood in front of Yang Jai and said that he was hungry, and her mother was so kind that she bought him not only vegetables, but also meat. And she also said that he could not pay the monthly rent. Today he is going to cook a hearty meal, and thanked her. The woman tensed up and thought that this guy had found such a loophole. Took her food as a favor, cancelled a month's rent. Xiong Yu actually went to heaven. He just dissuaded me from saying that tomorrow he could find a rich bride from above who would lend him money so that he could pay the rent. These are all blatant lies. Yang Jai told him to come to their house tonight to cook, and then they would all eat together. Xiong Yu said it was good, and he noticed that today she is unusually beautiful. The woman could no longer stand it and, calling him an insolent, asked him that, how dare he suck up to her daughter in her house? He wants to, let him believe, he wants not, but she will kick him out of the house. Xiong Yu came out of the entrance and said that Banana was nervous because he just complimented Yang Jai in order to make it look nice. He is driven and has no job. They are so heartless. And turning to Yang Jai, he said that he would go and do something for now. Then she can return the ingredients to him. Let her wait for him in order to have dinner together. When mother and daughter were left alone, the daughter asked her mother what kind of nonsense she was talking about. If she says something like that again, then she will ignore it. The woman told her daughter that she was just afraid that she would suffer losses. Xiong Yu, just a non-entity. And she asked that which of her friends had health problems. Yang Jai said Wu 11. She asked her about her health. Today, her illness manifested itself twice, so they parted ways. Mom told her that she and Yuzai are good friends, why shouldn't she visit her? She can give her money and she will buy 2 things at 2 noon and visit Yuzai. Otherwise it will be a little rough. Yang Jai told Mom to stop. She is very annoying, and she is not going to go to her. Mom asked why she got so angry all of a sudden. Is everything okay with her? Yang Jai told her mother that she was wrong. She will not go because their family is very different from her family. She only went to U11 once, and her mother was too arrogant. She doesn't want to see her. Meanwhile, Xiong Yu was already at the bus stop. He thought that there was supposed to be a restaurant there, so he would take the bus. Luckily, he has a photographic memory. Now all the bus routes of the city are in his head. 3 more minutes. The girl who was standing next to him thought that this man was very strange. Xiong Yu thought that there were already 2 minutes left. 1 minute. Then the bus is coming right now. At that moment, as a Prague bus drove up and stopped. The car behind the bus stopped abruptly as the daughter told her dad to do it. Father asked Yuzai what happened. Yuzai asked her father to wait a minute, and she thought it was him. She told her father to go and investigate right behind this bus. Father asked, what for? Yuzai told him that she would explain later, just let him follow this bus. Xiong Yu stood on the bus and thought it was a beautiful day. You can see so many beautiful women on the bus. But then he noticed a strange man next to this woman. This man was drooling. This man thought that he was standing in such a position he could stare at her breasts. Xiong Yu tensed up and thought he didn't notice him. He must find a way to tell this girl everything. He thought that since she was reading a manga called I Have a Mansion in a Post-Apocalyptic World, he decided to add her as a friend first. After that, the girl received a message that she would be careful because behind her is a pervert. The girl was surprised and asked who is this man and what is his name. The girl greeted him and asked, what is he? Xiong Yu answered her and said that it didn't matter. He just warned her about that pervert. The girl wrote that this person was really standing next to her, but what should she do? Xiong Yu wrote to her not to be nervous. Let her look ahead, there is an old man standing there. Let her invite him to sit in her place. She should use this opportunity and get out of there, keeping calm. The girl wrote that it was good. Then she got up and invited her grandfather to sit in her place. I thanked my grandfather and said that she was so beautiful and kind. And she herself moved away from this place. She wrote to him that at last she got rid of this pervert. She thanked him for noticing and informing her in time about it. Xiong Yu wrote that you are always welcome. The girl asked him where he was. In fact, he was standing next to her, but he texted her that he was on the bus. Let her guess where he was. If she doesn't guess, he wants to know her name. The girl began to look around, after which she wrote that many people on the bus are on the phone, and therefore she cannot guess. That's why I wrote that her name is Shang Guan Kaianian. And she asked what, and him. He wrote that his name was Xiong Yu and it was a pleasure to meet you. She wrote that she was also very pleased to meet him, and he is a very good person, not like a pervert who peeps with others. Xiong Yu was already bleeding from his nose, and he wrote to her not to thank him. That's what any man would do, and he himself thought that it was true. Then he showed the class to this pervert, and then this man shouted to the old man, to whom this girl gave way and said that he had no eyes. He went up to this old man and started yelling that he stepped on his shoes. The old man looked down and told him that he was wrong. His feet were in front, he couldn't step on his shoes. Then this pervert bent down and told the old man that they had better talk. Was he standing next to his seat? Does he really think he stepped on his own foot? The old man told him that he had a headache, so let him go, he has a headache. The man could not stand it and, grabbing this old man, asked him by the collar what was his head with the key. The girl who saved all of you decided to capture it all on camera and ordered him to stop it immediately. How dare he bully the old man? She filmed everything and put it on the network. Others picked her up, said that's right, he should let him go. This man hit this old man and asked, what is wrong with him? It's all his fault, he's so angry right now. This old man flew right into this girl. But Xiong Yu, he grabbed the girl and stopped the old man from falling. He asked her if she was okay. Shang Guan said yes and thanked him. It's okay, and asked him how did he know her name. Is he Xiong? Xiong Yu said yes, and he asked her to help the old man sit down first. He approached this pervert and told the rest of the passengers to call 110. He asked this man that, did he really want to leave with his tail between his legs? It will not work, because he must be punished. The man told him that it had nothing to do with him. Do they want to get in the face, then let them get out of here. Xiong Yu said that the only thing he hates the most is being pointed out to him. With my fingers. He grabbed the man's finger and bent it the other way, breaking his finger. The man screamed in pain and said that his finger was in pain. Xiong Yu said to so let him not blame him for the broken finger. The man told him that he had something to say, so let him go. Xiong Yu said that if he wants to improve, then let him find that old man's family, and let him be by his side, he won't be able to help him. In the meantime, the girl sat the old man in his place. The old man was now delirious, saying that his head. Who is he? Xiong Yu told the man that the old man had epilepsy. He just pushed him and stimulated the disease, after which he also slapped him. The man asked him how much he should pay. Xiong Yu said okay, in that case he will help him if he pays 50 million, so it will be fair. The man was very surprised and asked 50 million. Is he joking? He is from a black dragon, so let him be careful, otherwise they will break his legs. Xiong Yu asked what they were doing in the black dragon. One of the passengers said it was a tea club. Xiong Yu stood up and asked him if he was selling tea. Doesn't he think so? The man asked him if he really didn't know the black tea company. Let him at least pretend. Today he will teach him. The Black Dragon Tea Club is one of the largest criminal organizations. Xiong Yu took out a poster that said to be just and fight evil, and asked this man that, having no skills, how dare he scream. Then the police came and took the man away. The man told Xiong Yu that he remembered him. They will meet again. The policeman told him to shut up and get in the car. One of the passengers said that it was lousy because the old man is still unconscious and needs to be taken to the hospital. Xiong Yu said that it was already too late. He would take care of him himself. The girl asked him if he was a doctor. Xiong Yu said that yes, he is a follower of ancient Chinese medicine. Currently, only the method of passing a silver needle through the acupuncture point can be used. If all 5 signals pass, the old man will wake up. The girl asked if they could cure this old man's illness. Xiong Yu said that he could not be cured even with Chinese medicine. You can only restrain, it is a disease. His 5 games will help restore the clarity of his mind. Chapter 13. The girl looked surprised and asked if he would wake up after a few games. Is this really possible? Xiong Yu asked her if she didn't trust him. Then let them bet. If he succeeds, then today she will invite him to dinner. If not, he will invite her. The girl said she felt fooled. Regardless of who wins, they will have lunch together. She herself thought that, However, Xiong Yu acupuncture could really heal an old man in a few simple steps. Although she has seen many outstanding doctors, this is the first time that a person, if that copy was an expendable doctor who worked at their university hospital, she would be fine. They had already arrived, and the girl asked him what and where they were going. Xiong Yu said go there. There is a FUMANLOU restaurant there. The girl said it was good. Yu's eye was watching him all this time. She asked why are they together. She thought it was strange why they had Director Qiu and Xiong Yu's relationship together. But why is he alone with this girl? Her father asked her what her classmate was. Yu's eye said no. That girl, whose name is Shan Guan, works as a nurse in their hospital. She has a very good relationship with her and didn't expect her to be with her boyfriend. The father said that he thought this kid was her boyfriend. But if he really is his daughter's boyfriend, then he will break his legs. How dare he do such a thing? Yu's eye asked her father why didn't he tell her to see a doctor. Father said yes, he had an appointment with Dr. Lin. He thinks he's still waiting, so they'd better go. Yu asked his father that Dr. Lin could really cure her illness. Her father told her to be sure of it. After all, Lin is one of the 4 famous doctors in China. He specifically contacted him so that he could examine her. Xiong Yu met his friends in this restaurant. One of his friends said that while hanged ghost, he brought his sister-in-law. Why didn't he warn them? He shouldn't neglect her. It seems like they should go to a more upscale restaurant. Plus, they haven't ordered anything yet. Another friend suggested they go to a restaurant across the street. Xiong Yu told them that they were wrong Xiong, and she had just met. And she herself thought that she was really taking a big risk today. She had just met a guy and was already having lunch with him. So are his friends. For some reason, she was also called his daughter-in-law. Does she really want to leave as soon as possible? His friend said they don't treat her like an outsider, so let her eat with them. And ask her where does she work? Shan Guan said that in the city's main university hospital. Another friend of his said that wow to the university hospital, it's just a great place. And he asked her what she was there for. The girl smiled and thought that this conversation was very embarrassing for her. She wants to leave here and said that she was a nurse. The guy said that the job of a nurse is quite prestigious. Another friend hit him, calling him a monkey, and asked him what does he really care about what his brother's daughter-in-law works for. When he gets sick, she will take care of him. The monkey said to the bear, how can he say such a thing? Why is he cursing him for being sick? Shan Guan thought that these people named bear and monkeys are very interesting. And she said that both of them are worthy of their nicknames. But why do they call Zun's brother a hanged ghost? Both started talking at the same time. That they grew up together since childhood. When Xiong Yu was younger, he was taller. Their face was very pale, he was very thin, and he constantly stuck out his tongue. He looked like a hanging ghost, which is why they call him that. The monkey asked her what kind of food she likes. The bear has money. He earns hundreds of 1,000. The bear shoved him and said that he earns a lot, because he works harder than him. Every morning wakes up before 3 o'clock in order to work as much as possible. The monkey said it was nonsense. He had been barbecue for years, finishing work late at night. Does he think he can outdo him? The bear told him that he was lazy. Could he be richer than him? Xiong Yu told the girl not to be so surprised. They have been competing for more than 10 years. They will panic if they do not know the results of each other. She doesn't have to worry about them. She can order food. Shan Guan told him that he was still worried about her, but she was the one who lost, so those must be her words. The monkey told her that today they were being treated to a bear. He hadn't seen the ghost in almost a month. The bear said that this would not do, tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, when she was going to dine with the ghost again. Could he keep the two of them company? Shan Guan said that it was fine tomorrow at 12, but he would no longer call her daughter-in-law. She and Xiong Yu are just friends. Xiong Yu said that, yes, he really met Shan Guan. Only that they are just friends for this, let him not talk nonsense. Shan Guan thought that compared to them, Xiong Yu was much more serious. Shuntu thought that Shan Guan is a very nice girl. She doesn't bother him. He just cast a bait for Togo to catch big fish. The Shan Guan is very beautiful compared to the blue one. But the difference between their character and theirs is too great. Women who look like Shan Guan are very attractive. But he won't be in a hurry. 1 hour later, Shan Guan said that she has to go to work, so she will go one. Next time she will invite him. The monkey, looking at her, said that her figure is simply amazing. The bear said he thought so too. Xiong Yu asked them what's the matter? There are so many beautiful girls in the university. The bear asked him if it was true. The monkey said that he heard that the university is a place where beautiful girls gather. However, the university is tightly controlled and most people are not allowed in. Xiong Yu said that he was going to go to Xin, and he asked them if they wanted his university with him. The monkey said yes, and the bear said that of course they want to. After that, they left the restaurant together with stuffed bellies and headed to the university. On the way, the monkeys and the bear saw many beautiful girls. The bear said that they should only look at the beauties here. The monkey told him to look this way. After all, they are also beauties. All three were bleeding from their noses. Xiong Yu told them to watch. The bear said that the university is so cool. The monkey told them to look over there. He had never seen such beautiful girls. That bear interrupted and, turning to Xiong Yu, told him that he was going to find Hong Xin. The monkey said yes, he has things to do. The bear said that, so let him go to his bride, and they go to the beauties. Xiong Yu got upset and said how ungrateful they were. Without him, they would not have been able to get into this university. Okay, he needs to forget about it. He still needs to talk to Xin anyway. Then the Master Tong patted him on the shoulder. She thanked him again for this morning. If something happened to Yu Zai, she would have a hard time. Xiong Yu said that he would not deny she was lucky that he was passing by at that moment. If not for him, Yu Zai would already be dead. Should he have done something? The Tong teacher told him that he was still unhappy, and asked him if he could give her some time. She would like to invite him to dinner in order to express her gratitude, and asked him if he could give her his phone number. She can add it to WeChat. Xiong Yu gave her his phone number and told her to add it to WeChat. His number is there. The Tong teacher said well she added. Xiong Yu told her to invite him early. The Tong teacher said it was fine and let him be careful. After that, Yu Si called her father and asked him if he could help her find one person. Father said okay, it's not a problem. And she asked what she was talking about. She should tell him the name of the person. She said it was Xiong Yu and Yu Yu, and she gave me a phone number. Meanwhile, in the principal's office, Xiong Yu has already come to Xin, and he asked her that when she thinks they marry. Xin asked him if he really wanted her to marry a man he had never seen before. It's just not possible. If grandfather tries to force her to do this, she will go abroad and never return. Xiong Yu said that if she says so, it means that she has already made up her mind. Xin said that, to put it simply, he is staying here as the school doctor. The two of them talked for a very short time, and if she can fall in love with him, then she will marry him. Otherwise, they will cancel the engagement. Xiong Yu asked her what it meant he could stay here as a school doctor, didn't he? Xin told him to pay attention to the wording. She doesn't ask, she hires him. During the day she thought about it. He doesn't have a doctor's license. He doesn't have the ability to work in hospitals, and he also can't open his own clinic. He can only be the school doctor here, but no one should know about it, which is why he should be silent. Therefore, he must be very careful around doctors and not cause them problems. If he gets caught, she won't be able to help him. Xiong Yu said that it seemed Dr. Wien also knew that he didn't have a license. Xin told him not to worry so much about this, because Dr. Miao is her man, so she won't tell anyone. But Xiong Yu told her to forget about it, because he was not interested in the work of the school doctor. Xin told him that the base salary is small. It is only 10,000 yuan, but in addition, they have bonuses in the department. Xiong Yu, hearing about wages, immediately changed his mind and asked, is it really true? Then he agrees. But he realized that he agreed too quickly, as he was very glad to hear such a sum, cleared his throat, and said that it was really a small salary before he answered. He would like to see her sincere desire to invite him. And he asked her that she thought he could get 3,000 yuan in advance. After all, he promised his landlord to pay the rent for this month, but he just can't do it. In this case, as compensation, he can give her a breast massage. Xin could not stand it and hit him in the face and told him to roll out of here. After that, their conversation was over. Xiong Yu left the office and went outside, apparently looking for his friends. But even though Xin hit him, she still gave him some money. He said that this time she should be very happy. Money is indeed a very good thing. Then he heard a quiet cry for help. Xiong Yu tensed up and said that it was strange. Why are there still people in a large school dormitory who need help? The silent scream continued. He thought that the voice of this person is very weak. It must be a girl. But, listening better, he was frightened and thought it was very bad. He rushed towards this sound and thought that this girl was now in critical condition. The guard, seeing him, shouted to him that where was he going? It's a women's dormitory, he should stop immediately. Xiong Yu said that he didn't have time to explain. She should immediately call 110. He ran into this room and told the girl who was standing next to her friend and apparently wanted to help her, but didn't know how to leave immediately from her. Xiong Yu quickly approached this girl and, assessing her condition, now the girl was already dead. She had foam coming out of her mouth and there were some marks on her neck, said that she had just died. But fortunately, all organs except hearts are still working. Otherwise, even the great fairy Luo technique would be useless. Then this woman, the guard, came along with reinforcements. She went into the room and said that this brat runs very fast. It's a girl's dorm. He should get out of here immediately. She told the man that this is the man, he should throw him out of here. Xiong Yu did not pay any attention to them at all. He continued to treat this girl and told them to be quiet and not interfere with him because he should help her. The woman asked, "Isn't that a Qian Lin? What happened to her?" Schooner Yu said, "Thank him for calling for help, because if she died, he would be convicted of murder." This girl looked very like a man and asked what he meant that she would be saved, didn't she? The woman asked if it was a male voice. Then she tore off his wig and said that it was Qian Chen. It's really him. She didn't expect him to put on women's clothes and walk around in the women's dormitory. Qian Chen said that he could explain everything. He was taken away by two men and the women told him to go and explain everything to the police, not to her. And he asked the guards to take him to the post, let him wait there for the arrival of the police. And she herself thought that this guy was really very brave. He dressed in women's clothes and made his way here in this form. This time, she'll be better at keeping an eye on the intruders. At that moment, she remembered the girl. She turned around sharply and saw that Xiong Yu was kissing her. She was frightened and asked what he was doing. Xiong Yu said it was artificial respiration, thanks to acupuncture. After a while, nothing will threaten her health. Qian Lin mumbled something incomprehensible. She began to tremble and cry and begged so that Qian Chen doesn't kill her. Xiong Yu tried to calm her down and told her that she was safe. She needs to calm down because he's already been arrested. Qian Ding got up and asked who is he. Was he the one who saved her? Xiong Yu said that he was just walking by, and when he heard her faint cry for help, he rushed to save her. It's good that he came on time, because otherwise she would be already dead. Qian Lin said that she just took time off from physical education in order to take her medicine. Then someone went after her, and it was just the same Qian Chen. He almost killed her. At that moment, Xiong Yu received a message from the monkey. He told him that everything was very bad. The bear is beaten on the playground. Qian Lin continued to thank him for saving her. Xiong Yu moved towards the exit and said that this was her life. She doesn't have to thank him. Well, okay, he did everything that was required of him. He has to go now, and she should stay here and have a good rest. The woman asked what was his name. Xiong Yu told her that he also works here, so she will have many more opportunities to learn his name. What kind of a man was he beating a bear on the playground? He said that he dared to stare at his girlfriend in a tracksuit. At least he knows who he is. The Tongo teacher asked Guan Tongs to stop. The bear said he was just looking at the girls exercising. How could he know that one of them was his girlfriend? Guan called him names and asked him what he dared to blurt out there. After he breaks a couple of his ribs, his tiny brain should definitely remember that, too. Then Xiong Yu came to the aid of the bear and told the mister that this was not too much. Doesn't he think so? Then he hit this man, but the Guan managed to block. He thought that another one, what speed and aura he had. The bear got up and said that finally Xiong Yu was here. He really hopes that he will avenge him. Tongo teacher said Xiong Yu that this is actually a misunderstanding. Xiong Yu told her that she seemed to prefer her students to justice. His brother was beaten by him and he would like to resolve the misunderstanding in a duel. Conversely, if her student were injured, would she call it a misunderstanding? The Tong teacher told him that was not what she meant. She asked to listen to him, draw conclusions. His brother was beaten by a Guan master from a Taekwondo club. The Taekwondo club in the school are very powerful. Even the deputy director has to put up with his 3 points. Guan is the 5th master of Taekwondo and his father is a mid-level leader in the business market. He is said to be a very influential person. Few in the school dare to insult him so they can't provoke him. So Dr. Qing shouldn't be so impulsive. But Xiong Yu did not listen to her at all. He approached this mister and told him that he had offended his brother. He should get down on his knees and apologize. Guan Bei swung his hand and said that this would not happen. Let him try his fist. Xiong Yu asked him to wait a minute. Guan asked him to beat his fist faster would not be long in coming. Xiong Yu, what did you start to take out of your pocket? It was a red wig. He put it on and said okay, now they can start. Guan swung his leg at him and said that he was a cosplayer. Then he will make a real handsome man out of him. He can stop his strongest blow. Xiong Yu told him not to worry as he has 5 years of experience. And as a sign of respect, he uses his skills and experience of 5.5 years in order not to disappoint him. The Tong teacher said that Dr. Qing could heal and master martial arts. Therefore, it is not even surprising that he can compete with the Guan. But this one is really amazing. The monkey said that defeating the ghost is very difficult even for him. Guan told him that he might die because of his boasting. Xiong Yu said okay. He admits that he is using 4.5 years to defeat him. Guan told him to shut up and die already. I've been watching them all this time. Some weird guy with a very long tongue. This is a strange guy. He said that this person is quite interesting. He does not try very hard in a fight with Guan. Teacher Tonga can't stand it. She called to Dr. Xiong to be more attentive, and she herself thought that this was the very strong technique of the Taekwondo club. She heard that he used this technique to defeat an adult bull. An ordinary person would never take such a blow, and he uses it on Dr. Zhu, which is very bad. Xiong Yu told him that he would never lose to him, and his kick will help him do it, so Putin will be allowed to teach him a lesson today. He used 8-style libai and hit the master. The master screamed in pain. The monkey said it was a good job. The Tong master sighed and thought that it seemed like she was worrying for nothing. Now Dr. Xiong seems even less kind. The master fell to his knees and said that this was the meanest trick. Xiong told him not to raise his legs so high in the future, it would hurt too much, and he will leave this wake to him as a souvenir. The man who spied on them said he thought he might still be able to meet him. Huan yelled at him to put it away because he didn't want to. Xiong Yu picked up his brother and told the Tong teacher that she was right, it really was a misunderstanding. If she allows, he will take his friend for treatment. Huan asked him what is his name. He wants to find him later. Haiyan Yang gave his name and told him that he could look for him at any time. He has a very serious injury right now, so he better stop talking nonsense. Have his people take him to the hospital. The master started shouting that he remembered him. Let him just wait. The bear told his brother that it was very cool and asked him to teach as well. The monkeys picked him up and said that he must definitely teach them how to swing so that they would no longer be beaten. Xiong Yu said it was good. And then his phone rang. He asked his brothers to wait a bit, because he must answer the phone. It was the woman from whom he rents an apartment. She screamed into the phone and told him that didn't he say that he would cook dinner, where the hell are he? Xiong Yu said that he completely forgot about it. He told the monkey to take care of the bear, because he had an urgent business. The monkey told him to trust him. The bear asked him what he even imagines, how he feels now. What is it like to lose your sense of dignity? Xiong Yu finally arrived home. He went to the hostess's house and said that he was here and asked for forgiveness for waiting. The hostess told him to hurry because they are dying of hunger. Yana Jai said that Brother Xiong had returned. The woman also greeted him and said that her name was also Jiao Lang Ting. The short-haired woman also greeted him and said that her name was Xiao Zhk Jun. And next to her was her boyfriend, whose name was Lin Tianxiang. Xiong Yu approached his landlady and said that these people. The landlady said that they were her tenants. Jiao Lanting and her children live downstairs, and Ling Tianxiang and Xiao Rujun live opposite him. She told them that he was a very good cook and specially invited them to dinner. He must show a master class and not let her down. Xiong Yu told her not to doubt him, because there are so many beautiful girls here, he will do everything in the best possible way. Then he began to cook. After some time, everything was ready. He apologized for waiting, and he said that he wanted to cook more, but the ingredients were not enough, so he only cooked 20 dishes. Bon appetit everyone. The girl said it was very tasty. A short-haired woman told him that he had such excellent cooking skills. They must be very happy that they can taste such wonderful dishes. The woman with long hair agreed with her and said that she felt that the Xiong Yu dish was better than the one she cooks in her restaurant. And she asked him to let her talk to her boss. She advises him to become a chef with a salary of 4,000 or 5,000 a month. The man asked Sister Jiao where is her restaurant. It's small, and there are only 2 waiters. But Xiong Yu, after thanking her, said that he had already found a job and would begin it in a few days. The girl's boyfriend with short hair told him that he did not go to school, he had no education. What job could he find? Anyway, he works as a janitor. His girlfriend asked him what is this nonsense? How can Brother Xiong be a janitor? To which the guy replied that they both graduated from Shanghai University. Despite this, it was difficult for even them to find a job in Shanghai. Xiong Yu has no education. What job can he find? He can only be a cleaner or a waiter in a small restaurant. The hostess told him that why is he talking like that? He knows that Lang Tin works as a waiter and still says such hurtful things. Lan Ting said everything was fine. Sun Yun said that it really wasn't the best job. The man was delighted and said that he said how to find a good job without education. He and his girlfriend spent a lot of effort in order to work in a big company. This is definitely the best employer in Shanghai. His girlfriend told him that he said terrible things. Yang Jai was surprised and asked if they really work there. Her mother asked why she was so fussy. Is this company really that famous? Yang Jai explained to her mother that this company was founded by Long Yung Chen, one of the richest people in Shanghai. In the ranking of enterprises in their city, it is certainly one of the top 3. All graduates want to work there. And she asked the man, what is their salary? The woman said she was not bad. About her boyfriend said that of course 7,000 a month. And he asked, what is interesting, how much will Mr. Xiong Yu earn at his new job? Xiong Yu said not very much. Guaranteed 10,000 per month. The man even choked and said that this is nonsense. How can a person who comes from a village without education and diploma find a high-paying job? Does he not believe in it? His girlfriend asked him to shut up and said that was what he was talking about. Xiong Yu sighed and said that at first he refused, and they were not going to give him an advance of 3,000. And he gave the money to his mistress. The woman was surprised and said that it was simply incredible. Yangtze said he was too strong. The man asked him how much he could drink. He was even given the nickname 80 glasses and once defeated an Oktoberfest champion. Xiong Yu counted and said that there were about 4 glasses. The man laughed and asked what 4 glasses were. It's even funny. Does he really not know how to drink? May he let him teach him how to drink properly today. After going to work, he will need entertainment. How can you do without a little alcohol? After today's meeting, he won't be able to drink for a while. 1 hour later, this man was already drunk. He told Xiong Yu that if he can't drink, then don't drink. If he drinks again, he will see the king. His girlfriend was dragging him on her and said that every time he drinks with someone, he gets drunk as an insult. She will take him to rest, and thanked Xiong Yu for the hospitality. The food he cooked was really delicious, and already turning to her boyfriend, she told him to just look at himself. He has already passed out. If he cannot sing, then he does not drink fasting. He doesn't have to pretend to be cool. Yang Jai said that Ling Tianxiang was too arrogant and did not listen to what was said to him. Her mom said he was too drunk to talk. Jiao Langting took care of him like a child. They even left without finishing their meal. Xiong Yu said that one day he really wants to experience what it's like to be drunk. Yang Kai told him that he drank twice as much as he did and that was okay. Why did he lie to him that he could only drink 4 glasses? Xiong Yu said that he did not lie to him. His intention to stop drinking without the middle finger, he misunderstood. It's not too early, but he'll be back to himself. And Yang Kai told her to take her time. The fat woman will cook delicious food for her. Yang Jai said it was good. Her mother asked him what he had just said. He must keep his word and not forget it. When Xiong Yu returned to his home, to him, someone knocked. It was Yu Zai. Xiong Yu's apartment already had Yang Zai. She looked out and asked Yu Zai if she felt better. She shouldn't have left the house for a while. Yu Zai looked embarrassed and said nothing, and thanked Yang Jai for the concern. She feels much better, so she went out for a walk. She remembered that she lives here, so she came to talk. And looking at Xiong Yu, she asked, "Who is this?" Yang Jai said that this is her tenant. His name is Xiong Yu. He cooks amazingly. And she asked her friend what she hadn't eaten yet. Had she? She can go and eat with them. She turned to Xiong Yu and said that she was her best friend Yu Zai. Let him take his time to leave and cook 2 more dishes. After a while, Yu Zai had already eaten. She said that the food that Xing's elder brother prepared was really delicious, and I asked him that he really studied to be a chef. Xiong Yu said that he knows very little about cooking. He mainly studied Chinese medicine and is best at curing diseases and saving people, especially when you come across girls losing consciousness. Only artificial respiration can save them. Yang Jai looked at his girlfriend and thought, why is Yu Zai blushing? Is brother Xing Yu Zai? Brother Xing is too brave. It's the daughter, the deputy chief of police, and he dared to take advantage of her. Yu Zai came here because of Xing. She would take her mother away and let them handle their own affairs. After which she told her mother that they had already finished eating and they needed to go and clean up the kitchen. The woman said it was good she puts the leftovers in the fridge. They went to the kitchen and screams were heard from there. Yang Jai told her mother that she was too greedy. The plates are already licked. Her mother said that it was not her fault that the Malian Xiong Yu cooked so deliciously. Yu Zai asked Xiong Yu what he was doing this morning. Xiong Yu thought about it and asked her what was she talking about. Yu Zai looked very embarrassed and shouted out that in the morning when she fainted on the sports ground. How did he save her? Xiong Yu guessed and said that she was the same girl who fainted. During the rescue, it didn't matter to him what she looked like. Yu Zai said that now that he remembered her, let him answer her question. Xiong Yu said it was mainly artificial respiration. Yu Zai became even more embarrassed and asked what was the main thing. In what sense? Xiong Yu told her that despite how aggressively she reacted, she seemed to mean that he touched her breasts while she was unconscious. Yu Zai gathered her strength and exhaled, said that it was okay. If he's telling her the truth, then let him tell what happened to her. Xiong Yu told her to decide for herself what she wants to hear more, truth or lies. The false thing is that she needs to be hospitalized immediately, and maybe she will be safe. Yu Zai asked what about the truth? Xiong Yu said that the truth is that no one but him can save her. Yu Zai said it was absurd. The last time he saved her and possibly seized the moment, she turns a blind eye to it, but she warns him not to try it again. Otherwise, who knows what her father might do. She has already said everything she wanted to and leaves. Let him draw his own conclusions. Yang Jai came out to see her off and told her to be careful and come back. When her friend left, her eyes lit up as she adored all this gossip and said, Xiong Yu, that she didn't expect that the two of them will have an affair. Even if he recognized Yu's eye's weakness and took advantage of it. He's really bad. From the kitchen came the question that her classmate had already left. Xiong Yu told Yang Jai that she looked up to him as such a person. At that moment her mother wanted to leave the kitchen and told her that why didn't she tell her. She wanted to open the door, but Xiong Yu was standing behind her and she accidentally pushed him. And it so happened that the hands of Xiong Yu were at the Yang Jai on the chest. This girl's mother beat him up and said she would kill him. How dare he even touch her daughter? Yang Jai was very embarrassed and told her mother to forget about it. Xiong Yu thought that everything was too confusing. He'd better get back to the computer first to deal with Yu's eye. Judging by the color of her face, her condition has improved. It looks like she took about 13 kinds of Chinese medicines. And judging by these 13 and medicines, it can be concluded that the person who wrote the prescription cannot cure Yu's eye disease. He can only suppress it with drugs. However, as antibodies are produced by the body, U11, the effectiveness of drugs will only decrease. And all this again leads to a dead end. He doesn't have a good solution right now. He can only wait. Did you hear screams from the next apartment? Someone asked what does it all mean. Xiong Yu wondered if the neighbors were fighting. Tian Xiang told her that she herself knew what kind of relationship she had with Xiong. Xiong Yu thought, what do they say about him? Should he check it out? The girl told her boyfriend that he really wants to say that she and Xiong Yu had an affair. He doesn't even have proof of it. If he also insists on his own, then they will immediately part. Tian Xiang said that he really didn't think he saw how it looked at him while eating. Is he, in her opinion, blind? He called her names and asked if he didn't make more money than someone who didn't even go to college. The girl told him that his only advantage was in education, but otherwise he was not even close to him. You shouldn't underestimate him. She also advises him that it is better not to enter into such a relationship with his boss, otherwise he will regret it. Then Tian Xiang could not stand it and hit his girlfriend in the face, telling her not to threaten him with work. The girl started crying and told her boyfriend that he hit her. She dated him for 3 years. Has he been beating her all these years? And all this time he suspected her of treason. They'd better stay and she'll leave at once. Tian Xiang told her that he didn't want to leave her because he loves her. But she did not believe him and already packed her things and went out into the street. Tian Yang ran after her and told her not to leave. He would never hit her again. He swears to her. Jun said that if she had realized this earlier, she would have left him long ago. He shouldn't stop her. Xiong Yu thought that he had recently heard that some scumbags were walking around. It's better not to go out in the middle of the night. Tian Xiang kept running after his ex-girlfriend and yelling at her that he swears this is really the last time. Jun said that she had heard those words so many times already. It was here that the so-called scumbags appeared. They stood right in front of the girl and said that what a beauty she is. It's too late. Where is she going? Jun asked them who are they and what do they do? The man said it didn't matter who they were. The important thing is that now they have met their fate. She must go with them. One of the guys survived and grabbed her by the face, called her a baby and said that she was so beautiful. Jun shouted for him to let her go. He must let her go immediately or she will call the police. The man told her that it was very annoying. She shouldn't bother the police, okay. If she resists, he will mutilate her beautiful face with a knife. Jun was very scared and told him that he dared to touch her. He must be careful with her boyfriend knowing Tian Xiang will beat him. Tian Xiang came up from behind. From fear, he was shaking all over and pulled the man money. He said it was a little bit from a younger brother. He really hopes that the older brother will let them go. The man said he was a very good boy. He would spare him, but this girl should stay with him. He still wants to have fun with her. Does he understand? If he understands, then he should back off. If he doesn't quit, he'll show him a game called White Knife In, Red Knife Out. Tian Xiang got scared and thought that Jun didn't want to stay. What should he do? He still has a career, his life, a great future. He cannot die here. And he told his girlfriend that he thought very well and decided that he wanted to leave her. They really don't fit together. It's better for them to break up. Jun said that she didn't expect her to seem like such a creature. The man again began to pester her and told her to see how fast her boyfriend ran. Such a person cannot be trusted. It will be better for her with her older brother. He will treat her very well. Jun started screaming for someone to save her. Xiong Yu arrived in time. He told the man to put his dirty hands away. Does he scare her? Junya told him they were scammers. Should he save her? The man whom Xiong Yu met on the bus at the time told his boss that the guy had recently prevented him from doing a good deed on the bus. Hong ordered him to tie up this girl first, and then they would punish this kid. And turning to Xiong Yu, he told him that they were from a tea house called Black Dragon. He must have heard of it. One more thing, tonight would end very badly for him. Xiong Yu said that he doesn't like guns. He should approach him and not do stupid things. The man with the mohawk told his brother not to talk nonsense. Because of him, he suffered a lot in the police station. This time, let him beat him first. And attacking him with a knife, he told him that he himself had come here. He trampled his face into the dirt on the bus, and now he will take revenge on him. Jun called out to Xiong Yu that they had a knife. Xiong Yu wasn't scared at all and recognized the guy. And he said he looked like he killed him on the bus, and applying his blow to the light hit him in the face. Then he hit another guy who was behind him, told him not to even think about attacking him from behind. The guy started screaming that it was a lie. Just don't let him punch him in the face, he won't do it again. It shouldn't take his life. Their boss stood and, watching this, said that this guy is good. Finally he met a worthy opponent. Today he will play with it. His subordinates yelled at him to stop him or he would beat them to death. The boss told them to be sure that he would let him feel the power of his fists. But Xiong Yu butchered everything with him. He said he should be ashamed that their boss took 3 hits. And he told them that all 3 of them should leave here. Then he approached the girl and said that they had all left. He returns her wallet and escorts her to the hotel. Jun thanked him, but said that it seemed they had already taken the money. Xiong Yu thought he was in such a hurry that he didn't have time to collect the money. Should he keep her company all night? Ling Tian beat her and he is afraid that she will start a conversation about it. Jun was embarrassed and told him that if he didn't mind. Xiong Yu untied her and said that it was good. They have to go to his room and he will heal her using acupuncture. She can sleep on the bed and he stays on the couch. Jun thanked him. They both went to his room. The girl asked him if it was true. He's studying medicine, isn't he? Xiong Yu said yes, but he studied Chinese medicine. Jun asked what is Chinese medicine. It must be very difficult for him to find a job. Xiong Yu said that the most difficult thing is that he has no qualifications. They had just arrived at the house. He told her that the light was on in her room, which meant that Ling Tian had returned safely. Jun smiled at him and told him to go first, and she would go to the public toilet and then come. And she herself called her ex-boyfriend and thought that she should go and see what does he do. She went to the door and began to eavesdrop. Ling Tian was with some girl. He asked her if they weren't already doing this in the office. Why is she so worried now? The girl asked him what? Why is he so charming and flirtatious? The slug thought that this was really the voice of Ling Tian and his boss Jiang. Jiang told him that she hated him. He wants to say that she is not as beautiful and not as good as this Jun. Ling Tian told her that it was not. Jun is no match for her. He already left her. After all, she was having an affair with Xiong Yu in the neighborhood and allowed her to leave. Jiang asked if they really broke up, then their relationship. Ling Tian asked her if she could not see his true feelings. He will devote his entire life to loving and protecting her. Chujin said that she loves him. Jun thought. Jiang told him that tonight was not going to be 100 times better than this Jun. Ling Tian said it was good. Jun plugged her ears and thought if he didn't want her to leave. She doesn't care anymore. She wants him to see that after breaking up with him, she will be much happier. After that, she came to Xiong Yu's apartment. He told her that she had been in the toilet for quite some time. He's already sterilized the needle. She must show him her wounds. Jun was embarrassed and told him that because of her clothes, she couldn't be seen. And she herself thought that Ling Tian would not blame her for this. She said she would take off her clothes to make his job easier. They better start. Xiong Yu's nose bled again and he asked her what she was doing. She shouldn't be so impulsive. Oh, he thought to himself, who can stand this? He cleared his throat and asked her what is her opinion of him. He's not a crook who takes advantage. Before she starts, she has to get dressed. He roughly remembered where the wound was. After 1 hour of treatment, the slug said a big thank you to him. She already feels much better, so he can already remove his hands. Xingyang was in no hurry to do so and told her to wait a minute. This is the last stage of the massage, which will help improve blood circulation and reduce swelling. Then she took a mirror and said that this one is yes. His treatment is really good. The wound has almost disappeared. Xiong Yu told her that she also did well. Usually people are scared for a long time. And he himself thought that it was her figure even more powerful. Jun told him that this bed is quite large, so let him not lie on the floor because it is unhealthy. Besides, she stayed in his room, can't afford it. Xiong Yu said that it was good that since she trusted him so much, he would not pay any attention to him. He lay down on his bed and thought that it seemed for Jun. He is already a good person. She slept on his arm, and he thought that in the current situation, as a gentleman, He could not do anything about it. He can't take advantage of people's weaknesses, let alone go to school tomorrow. He sealed the inner strength. The next day, Jun thought that Xing's brother was really made of wood. We need to forget about it before he wakes up. She will find a rent in order to rent a new apartment. But when she left his apartment, she met her ex-boyfriend with his boss. The lynching asked, "Is that not Jun? Why did she leave Xiong Yu's apartment?" Zhang asked him what he should not ask. It's too shameless. Ling Tian told her that they had recently broken up. She had already moved in with him. Zhang asked her what they did at night. Jun told them that they were no better. Ling Tian told her that, but thanks to parting with her, he was able to be together with Zhang. Zhang thanked for this Jun. "Why did you leave the apartment, Xiong Yu?" He addressed Ling Tian and said that he would also like to thank him. "Thank you for breaking up with Jun for Togo so that he can meet such a nice girl. Their affairs should not bother them." Zhang told Tian Ziyan not to talk about such nonsense. They need to go. Tian Ziyan told Xiong Yu to just wait. Xiong Yu wished him good luck. After they left, Jun thanked Xiong Yu for helping her, and I asked him what kind of robe it was. Xiong Yu said he was not at all. It's just that today he has to find the school hospital, so he changed his clothes. The situation is urgent, so don't take it too seriously. He will go first. Jun said it was fine and said goodbye to him. She herself blushed and thought that it would be good if Xiong Yu took it seriously. At the workplace, Xiong Yu met Xin. She told him that she immediately warns him that if after 3 months his medical skills, which he showed earlier, are erroneous, then he will immediately fly out of here. The school hospital is right across the street, so let her see him through. Xing Yun started looking around and told his future wife not to worry and asked her if she hadn't seen him in action. Xin told him that there are only 3 doctors who study Chinese medicine, including him. Just let him not create problems for her, she is busy from time to time. And she asked him that he listens to her at all. Well, when she turned around, she did not find him there and asked where he was. He noticed the Shan Guan and approached her. Shani Guan said that she didn't expect to meet him here. Xing Yu told her that he had just applied for a doctorate position in the Department of Chinese Medicine. They may become colleagues in the future. Shan Guan said it was cool. She also wanted to invite him to dinner and offered to call him at 12. Xing Yu said it was good. He will be waiting for her. Shan Guan said that she would go then, they would see each other at 12. Xin observed all this, said that it was just fine that it took him only a few days to seduce the girl. Xing Yu told her that there was nothing between them, he was sincere with her. Blue told him that she didn't need his excuses and he shouldn't call her wifey. This school hospital, the Chinese medicine department, is located on the top floor. He must go himself because she has things to do. But he must remember that he does not create problems for her. Xing Yu said it was good. Let her go and do her business. And he called her wifey again. He went inside and started looking around. He thought this school was really worth the effort. There are so many beauties here. That he heard some doctor telling a student that it was just an endocrine disorder. She should pay more attention to her sleep and take care of herself. This student said she was fine and thanked the doctor. Xing Yu thought it was an endocrine disorder. This doctor is incompetent. He could not stand it and went up to this doctor and said that this student did not have an endocrine disorder. And if he's right, then the student is pregnant. The doctor asked him to stop because he sees that he is inexperienced, unlike him. He's a therapist, isn't he? What department is he from? Is he new? Xing Yu said yes. He introduced himself and said that he was a Chinese medicine doctor. The doctor asked him what is Chinese medicine. Is he a trainee? He's still a kid. What did he forget in Chinese medicine? Did them weeds get so bored that they themselves are already walking and making diagnoses? Who got it? Xing Yu said he says what he sees. He made the final decision, judging by her reaction. And she said, this is a student, that if her health does not improve, then let her come to the Department of Chinese Medicine in order to find him. The doctor told this student not to listen to him and take the medicine according to her diagnosis. The student was embarrassed and said that it was good. Xing Yu finally reached the Department of Chinese Medicine. He was a little surprised and thought it was so empty here. No wonder the Department of Chinese Medicine is looked down upon. He went inside and, after saying hello, asked if there was anyone here. He is the new doctor. The man asked that the new Dr. Xing Yu, right? Did he hear the vice principal talking about him? The man introduced himself and said that his name was Xin Guanghe, the head physician of the Department of Chinese Medicine. It's pretty empty in here. Therefore, let him be ready for loneliness. Xing Yu told him not to worry, because his goal is to personally save people, not to make money. Xin Guang shook hands with him and said that was well said. Director Qiu brought him a good sprout. He continues to work here according to this logic. He must familiarize himself with everything in the office. Xing Yu said it was good. Then someone knocked on the door and asked if anyone was there. Xin Guan said that it is really busy here today. Patients usually come once every half a month. He walked to the door and said yes, they should wait a minute. Xiong Yu recognized that voice and thought that she seemed to believe what he said. Two girls came and asked if there was also a doctor named Xiong. They agreed to meet here. Xiong Yu thought it was really her. Xin Guan said that Xiong Yu is not that bad. On the same day, the students came to look for him and told the girls he was inside. Let them go to him and he will go. These girls came to Xiong Yu's office. The girl told him that what he said in the therapy ward. Xiong Yu interrupted and asked what she wanted to ask. Was it true? The girl said yes. Xiong Yu told her that he thought her own body knew better. The student said that it was Dr. Lai who said that she didn't. Xiong Yu told her that if she believed Dr. Lai, then why did she come to him? Too bad he can't help her. The student told him that she felt very tired. Her friend interrupted her and said that she thought he was just playing with them. She got up, hitting the table, said she would tell about him. Han pulled her friend by the hand and told the doctor to just wait for the punishment. Fairy Yun told her friend not to be like that. Dr. Qiang said it doesn't matter, and he himself thought that it was better to do everything in a big way and try to improve the reputation of their department. 15 minutes later, he came to the register. The woman asked him that he was Dr. Qiang. Didn't she receive a complaint within one business day? He really is pathetic. He was fined 1,000 yuan as a warning for one violation. And by the way, he must personally apologize to the complainant. He must sign here if he has nothing to say. Dr. Qiang asked Director Qin why he was punishing him without even looking at the situation from his side. Director Qin said that the patient would not complain about him. This is a deliberate complaint. Dr. Qiang thought that Director Qin was completely unpredictable, and it seems that she is used to it. And ask her what then, can he complain about her vague beliefs and arbitrary punishment? Director Qin got angry and jumped up and asked him if someone filed a complaint and she punished him. What is wrong here? Besides, even if she reasoned, there was something wrong that he could do to her. Her sister, principal of my school. Is he sure he wants to complain about her? Dr. Zhu told her to wait. He would not complain. They could talk calmly. Director Qin asked that wasn't that pretty rude. Dr. Qiang said that by the way, he had something for her. Then he took out a paper from his pocket. Director Qin asked what is this love letter? Although he looks pretty good, but she has ellipsis. Dr. Qiang said it was a prescription medicine. She was sick and needed it. Director Qin got even angrier at him and asked him why he said that she was sick. He's the only one who's sick. Dr. Qiang said yes, and the disease is quite serious. At this point, Director Qin felt unwell. She said that it hurts Lai and asked what was happening. Dr. Qiang said that the disease seemed to be progressing. Your constant anger makes her heart weak. He wasn't going to argue with her in order to prevent her from getting worse. He picked her up and said that he didn't mean to stimulate her illness by giving her this recipe. He took her in his arms and thought that now she is sick, so he must use 5 silver games to save her. Then Shan Guan came running to the rescue and asked what she had heard that someone had fainted. What happened? Dr. Qiang told her that she came just in time. She should go to the Chinese medicine department and fetch his bag. Shan Guan said she understood. Dr. Lai also came running and, getting angry, said that this intern of the Chinese branch was back again. He should get out of here and let him take care of Lai Yin. Dr. Qiang asked him if he, the therapist, is a charlatan. He better stay calm, because her life is now in danger. She fell into a coma. If he interferes with him, then she will die because of him. Shan Guan ran to the Chinese medicine department and wondered where he kept his bag. She began to search the office, but she was nowhere to be found. Then she finally found it, but something fell out of her. She was embarrassed and thought, is it really a bra? It seems to have been used many times. Shan Guan ran back and told Dr. Qiang that she had brought it. Dr. Qiang pointed to the spot and told her to put it there. He looked at her and asked why she blushed. Shang Yuan said it was because she ran too fast, and she herself thought that Dr. Qiang did not look like a pervert who steals underwear. Dr. Qiang told her that if this is the case, then let her rest, he will do everything himself. The girl said that it was good, she would go and change. Then they'll see each other for dinner, and she herself thought that she should find the right time to ask him. Dr. Qiang was concentrating on the treatment and thought no, her condition is deteriorating. He must hurry. Then the doctor called him. Dr. Qiang asked why is he still here. The doctor said that he was standing in front of Lai Yin and holding this huge needle. How could he just walk away? Dr. Qiang then took a bigger needle, said it was good, he would just use it. Dr. Li called out to him and told him to stop doing it already. After a while, he finished. Dr. Qiang said everything is ready. If they want to thank him, they can leave gifts at the Chinese medicine department. Dr. Li said it was just acupuncture. Why is she in this position? Dr. Qiang said that his treatment is always like this. He shouldn't run into him like that, because he won't wake up soon. Dr. Lai said he hoped so. Dr. Qiu thought that although she was easily angered, she had a great body. Soon Director Qin woke up. She asked where is she. She immediately saw Dr. Lai and asked that he had saved her. Dr. Lai told her that she had fainted and her body was very weak, so she shouldn't move now. Director Qin thanked him for saving her. I told Dr. Qiu not to hope that he could just leave. Dr. Li told her not to worry, he would take care of it. Director Qin stood up and said that her chest was hurting, so she would go home and rest. Dr. Qiu thought that she should have woken up by now. He doesn't know if such nonsense will make people look at the Chinese medicine department differently. Unfortunately, the path to success is full of obstacles. He would rather meet Shan Guan for a meal. Then this student came up to him again and called out to him. She said what he really is. Dr. Qiu said she was from the women's dormitory. The girl said yes, she heard that he works at the school hospital, so she came here. Dr. Qiu told her that her body had not fully recovered yet. She had better go to the Chinese medicine department. The girl thanked him for this. When they arrived at the Chinese medicine department, Dr. Qiu began to examine her. He thought she was a chicken, drinking and staying up late. This girl is ruining her body. But, looking at her appearance, it is even difficult to imagine such a thing. Maybe she has a secret. After which he told her that he could help her, but she should answer his questions honestly. The girl said it was good. He asked her what she smokes, drinks and stays up late, which she does every night. The girl exhaled and said yes, his skills in medicine are really on top, she can't hide it from him. For the last 2 years she has been working as a waitress. She thought about quitting but had to keep going for 2 reasons. First, since her boyfriend's family is poor, she gave him most of her money. But she did not expect that he was lying to her to spend her money on other girls. Then she decided to leave him. But then he came to the hostel disguised as a girl and nearly killed her. Dr. Qiu asked her if this problem had not been solved. Why is she drinking? The girl said that reason 2 is that KTV belongs to a tea house called Black Dragon. Every time she wants to resign, they always threaten her. The strength of the tea house is too great, so she can only suffer in silence. She told the doctor that all this time tormented her heart, thanked him for listening to her. The girl started crying. Dr. Qiu told her to calm down and everything will be fine. Dr. Qiu said he gave her a prescription. She must rest for half a month and return in order to pass the exams. The girl said she was fine and thanked her doctor. Dr. Qiu thought that this tea house was a black dragon again. They really do bad things. Then Shan Guan came up to him, and I asked him what he was doing here. She has already changed and told him that they need to go. She invites him to dinner. Dr. Qiu said it was fine. He would call the bear and the monkey. They had already gone outside and Shan Guan told him that there are so many restaurants here, why don't they choose one? Dr. Qiu said he didn't know the area very well. Shan Guan told him that this restaurant has delicious fried fish. Xiong Yu told her that it was fine, they would just go there. The monkey asked the bear what he thought when will they have beautiful girls. The bear said that when only they will remain in the world. They entered this restaurant. One of Xiong Yu's friends said that wow, there are a lot of girls from her campus here. Shan Guan said that this fish restaurant is very famous and many students from their campus often come here. The monkey said it was understandable. Xiong Yu told her that it was his first time here with the bear, so let her order. Shan Guan said that it's good, she treats them. Then one of the students noticed him. She approached him and said that this was a coincidence. Xiong Yu asked what is Fei Yu. He almost didn't recognize her in those clothes. Fairy asked for forgiveness for the morning incident. She couldn't stop her friend when she filed a complaint against him. Xiong Yu said that it's okay, everything is fine. These are his friends, so let her sit down with him. But Fei Yu refused and said no. She came with her boyfriend. Do they sit next to them? Should he let me introduce them? Her boyfriend was that taekwondo master. He told his girlfriend that he didn't think she should introduce him to him. Fairy Yu asked if they already knew each other. Xiong Yu said that they were just enjoying a little entertainment. He won't bother her. Therefore, let them talk about her body later. Fei Yu said it was good. Shan Guan told Dr. Qiu that this guy seems to be a taekwondo teacher on their campus. Is he mad at him? Dr. Qiu said what's on the bottom. The monkey said, what's more, he saw his face, didn't he? This Xiong Yu did his best. Shan Guan asked why Dr. Qiu is so good at martial arts. Dr. Qiu cleared his throat and said that he was only a beginner in martial arts. Shan Guan said that she did not expect. The bear told them not to forget that he had promised to teach them martial arts. The monkey said yes. The bear said very loudly that after he taught them martial arts, they would also teach him a lesson. Fei Yu told her boyfriend that Dr. Qiu is actually quite good. Her boyfriend got mad at her and asked if she really had the nerve to say so. Let her first explain to him what this means, let's talk about the body. Fairy Yu thought that even though her boyfriend was in a bad mood today, she should tell him, and told him that Dr. Song had told her that she was pregnant. Taekwondo master was surprised and asked what? Pregnant? How could she even get pregnant if they use contraception every time the devil does it? Fairy Yu said she didn't know. Her boyfriend chuckled and said okay, he got it. Fairy Yu asked what he understood. Her boyfriend asked her that she and Dr. Xiong conspired to get revenge on him, didn't they? He took it out of his pocket and said that it looks like they are close to him. So the child is his, isn't it? Fei Yu asked him what is he talking about? He took out his wallet and asked her why isn't she doing this for the money? 20,000 will be enough. Should she forget about it? He tossed her wallet and said that they had been dating for a year, that's all for her. Fairy Yu closed her eyes and called her boyfriend a name. But the purse didn't hit Fei Yu. He flew a needle that pinned him to the wall. Xiong Yu told this guy that he was really a jerk. How dare he raise his hand against a girl? Shan Guan asked him if he had used martial arts. The man told him not to interfere, and didn't brainwash him. He doesn't have time to deal with it. Xiong Yu told him to wait as he had to apologize to Fei Yu. The man said that this is their private matter, it does not concern him. Xiong Yu stood up and offered the man a bet. If he loses, he will have to apologize to Fairy Yu. The man asked what if he wins, and he himself answered this question, saying that he would become his slave for a month, and asked him if he agreed. Xiong Yu said yes if he wins, then he will be his slave for 1 month and will obey all his commands. The bear and the monkey said at the same time that this was not a joke. Xiong Yu said that they were betting that the black bear would defeat him in 3 months. The monkey asked what is a black bear? The bear, pointing at himself, asked what is he really? The man told him that he knew he had 2 subordinates, but they would not be able to fight him. But he agrees, he is looking forward to what he can do with this garbage in 3 months. The bear asked Xiong Yu if he could really do it. Monkey, remind him that the black bear was beaten by him on the sports ground. Xiong told them not to worry, if he worked hard, 2 months would be enough. Being engaged in martial arts, he will also easily find a girl in himself. The bear was very happy and asked if it was true. Then he will train hard. The monkeys were told that martial arts would definitely help build muscle. He also wants to train. The man got angry and said that he would just see how he dealt with him in 3 months. The monkey told the black bear that he should train hard and beat him up. Xiong Yu approached Fei Yu and asked her if she was okay. The girl said she was fine and thanked him. She also told him that she wants to be sure about the pregnancy. If that's right, then she should have an abortion. Xiong Yu told her that it was true, but there is no need to have an abortion. He has a safer method. And he asked her what does she want to try. The girl thanked him for his kindness and said that he would let her think it over first. Dr. Xiong said that it was okay, because she could come to him at any time. When this girl left, a black bear came up to Dr. Xiong and said that this girl is very cute. And he asked him how did he know her? He must introduce him to her. Dr. Xiong said she was his patient. Then he remembered something and asked the black bear that the last time he was beaten by a taekwondo master because of Fei Yu. Does he like her? The black bear laughed and asked him how did he understand this? Xiong Yu told him that he was a little jerk, let him just pay for the food and someday he would introduce him to her. The bear said it was a treat. Why should he pay? They went to the checkout. The girl told them that a total of 24 yuan. If you also count the damage to their walls. The black bear told Xiong Yu that he hadn't changed the way he did when he was a child. Shan Guan asked the monkey that Xiong Yu was naughty as a child. The monkey told her that he is a pervert. He likes to play with girls since childhood, so he always got it from his grandfather. At that moment, she herself wondered whether the bra of Xiong's brother's bag was stolen. Then Xiong Yu himself came up and hit the monkey on the head and told the girl not to listen to his nonsense. He himself was a very good child in childhood. Shan Guan asked, is it really true? The bear said that when he was 10, he looked at the beautiful widow in their village while bathing and kissed her on the lips when she fell asleep. Shan Guan asked what the widow. She turned to Dr. Xiong and said with horror that it turned out that he liked such things. Xiong Yu asked her to listen to him. Widow Wang is actually a young girl who was raised by an old man. In their village, she was only 12 years old. The old man died when she was 14, so they all call her Widow Wang. Then he kissed her because she wanted to go alone and he wanted to leave memories of her. And the people in the village were fooled because of it. He hasn't seen her in over 10 years, she must be already married. The monkey said that everything is in order, fate will bring them together again. Xiong Yu said he wouldn't think too much about it, and he told the black bear and the monkey to go with him to the Chinese medicine department. He would teach them some basic skills. The black bear said that it is time to do something, although there are still 3 months. When they left, the girl they paid told her boss that she could go out because they had left. The woman said okay, in the future I should tell her every time they come. He turned to Xiong Yu and said that she did not think that they would be able to meet again. It was the same widow Van. She asked what are they connected with fate. Dr. Xiong dragged into the pole. The black bear asked him, "What, is this thing really useful?" Xiong Yu said that of course this is the basis. After he masters the basic arts, he will get double the result. The monkey said that this time he would believe him. Then I started to try these exercises. After that, the black bear told her that it was his turn now. He wants to practice. He wants to start practicing as soon as possible in order to beat this taekwondo master. Xiong Yu said that both of them should practice for at least 40 minutes a day, and it will work in a week. And he himself thought that they should not blame him, because it was all because of them. Then his phone rang. Xin called him. He thought, why is she calling him? The monkey asked the black bear how he felt as his muscles begin to grow. Dr. Qiu picked up the phone and asked her if she had changed her mind and wanted to marry him. Xin told him that she didn't have time to argue with him. He should tell her the truth about what happened between him and Qin Liying this morning. Dr. Qiu asked what the manager of Qin. This story is very long. After a very long explanation of Xiong Yu, Xin said that she understood that manager Qin had lifestyle issues. Besides, she has something else for him. At 2 noon, the wife's doctor invites them to dinner, but it's up to him whether he wants to go or not. Dr. Qiu said without hesitation that he would come. He also wants to talk to her about her medical skills, after which their conversation was terminated. Xin turned to her friend, said she didn't mind if she wants to meet Xiong Yu, but she also wants to invite someone. The wife's doctor said it was fine, no problem, and he asked her if her family didn't know Xiong Yu. Why does she hate him so much? Xin said that she was not used to such dirty behavior. The wife's doctor laughed and said that he was very, very talented. Brings out the moment Dr. Qiu sneezed. He thought that the blue was talking about him. Then Qian Lin called out to him. She told him what kind of coincidence is this. Dr. Qiu asked her if she was going to work in KW again. He thinks her face is getting more and more pale. He advises her to quit as soon as possible. The girl said he didn't need to worry so much. She's going to end it today. Dr. Qiu said they were all jerks and she just wants to come there. Qian Lin told him not to worry. If she pays them, they will let her go. But she's in a hurry so she'll leave one. Dr. Qiu said that's fine, but she should be careful. He thought she was a very beautiful girl, and unfortunately, he and Qiu Xin are already engaged. He mentally asked his grandfather why did he want for him to marry such a cruel woman. In fact, the engagement was called off and he works as a doctor at the university. Then someone called out to him again. It was Dr. Wives. The wife's doctor congratulated him on his admission to the university hospital. They will now be partners in the future. Dr. Qiu said it was all because of Xin, which helped him. The wife's doctor said that she was confident that in less than 2 months he would become a well-known doctor in this hospital. Dr. Qiu asked her where would they go. Ween's doctor said that Xin had already booked a seat for them, where to eat, and it's a grilled fish restaurant. Dr. Qiu asked her what she meant by chai grilled fish restaurant. The doctor wives smiled and said bingo. Xin booked a table there. Dr. Qiu thought that even though he ate grilled fish because he was accompanied by a beautiful woman, he has nothing against going there again. Someone tensed up because he saw that Qian Lin was walking along with those two. The wife's doctor asked him what it was. Has he forgotten something? Dr. Qiu said it was nothing, he just saw a friend. And he himself thought that he needed to forget about it because she should be in order. He'd better go to a restaurant first. They went inside, and Dr. Qiu asked Dr. Ween, what should she say that she wants to make up with him this time? Doctor, his wife told him that she was waiting in the front room. If he is in such a hurry, then let him ask her about it himself. Dr. Qiu introduced the half-naked Xin and thought to his grandfather that the task he had given him would soon be completed. He burst into the room with the flower and told Xin that he had come. He called her dear, apologized for keeping her waiting so long. But then he saw the man he met the first time he met Xin. This man told him that they had met again. Xin had been waiting for him for a very long time. Dr. Qiu told Mr. Long that they had not seen each other for a long time. Did they all step up to the table? The wife's doctor said that they all know each other, so you don't have to be so careful. And she herself thought, what kind of atmosphere is this? She needs to break this silence. She turned to Xin and said that the director of Long is such a busy person, like her husband, to invite him here. Blue said that this VIP room is not that easy to book. It usually takes a few weeks for Gogo to get on the waiting list. But thanks to Mr. Long and his connections, they are now using her. And she herself thought that she even called Director Long in order to embarrass Xiong Yu. Director Long said it wasn't worth it because he was doing what he had to do. He is pleased to help Hong Xin, and he asked the Dr. Zhen what was the food he ordered for her. Dr. Qiu said he was right. That's why they call him Young Master, so thank you very much. He just gets really upset when he thinks about not having anything to eat this month. Director Long didn't expect this and he asked if he really took all this food. They haven't eaten anything yet. Xin asked him what he was doing. He is completely dishonest. Dr. Qiu told her not to blame him. He gave away the last 300 yuan of his rent and has no money for food. Xin asked him what, let him just not say that he was going to ask her for money again. Dr. Qiu asked her what, would he really let him die of starvation in this 30m2 room? The wife's doctor asked him that how can a person live in this room? Dr. Qiu said that if one person, then it is still normal. Director Long laughed and said that people are poor for a reason. For example, it's all because of laziness. Dr. Qiu agreed with him and said that it was true. That must be all he's trying to be himself now, isn't it? Director Long got angry and told him that Xiong Yu knew what he was talking about. He was lucky that Xiong Yu would never be like him, even in his dreams. Dr. Qiu just shrugged his shoulders and said that middle-class life is real life. Xin thought that she did not expect Long Dangyun to fool Xiong Yu. No matter how hard he tries, she must avenge this engagement. The principal told Dr. Qiu that Xin wouldn't make a good match, so why shouldn't he back down? Dr. Qiu asked him if he was serious about Xin. The director said that, of course, he really loved her very much. Dr. Xiong crept up to him and said in his ear that he felt that he was lying. The director tensed up and asked him what he was talking about. Here the blue could not stand it anymore and said that it was enough. You need to eat before you say goodbye to Dr. Ren and stop arguing. She herself thought Deng Yun was so stupid. A CEO who can't even respond to a redneck like Dr. Qiu. Dr. Qiu wished everyone a good appetite and said that he would go and get some drinks. Xin told him to return from Korea. He left the room and said that he would take milk with papaya for Xin and yogurt for Dr. Ren. Then he heard in the next room that someone chuckled and said that finally she was drunk. Dr. Sun tensed up and thought it was a very familiar voice. All of Dr. Qiu's expectations came true. It was Kai and Lin. She told Mr. Hong that she had had enough to drink with them and they would sign a contract right away, right? The man said it was good, he will sign it immediately. They put her on the sofa, and the girl asked what they were doing. She asks them to help her this time. The guy told his boss that he was first, right? The boss told him that he is his best friend so they can do it together. He doesn't mind. Dr. Qiu came in and told them that they had met again. The boss asked why is he here again. Dr. Qiu started to fight them. He told them that he wondered why his patients were so sick, and it was all because of them assholes. The men began to ask him to let them explain, but he kicked them out of the room with one foot. The man said that he would call his brothers and they would not leave a wet spot for him. Dr. Qiu thought that luckily he had helped her in time, otherwise it might have been too late. What are you? A girl started pestering him and asked, Dr. Qiu, is he? Isn't he? She thanked him for helping her. Dr. Qiu blushed and said that it was his duty. The girl said that Putin would allow her to serve him as compensation today. She asked him if everything was fine. Dr. Qiu told her that she was drunk and shouldn't act like that. Dr. Qiu told her how much she drank. Changling told him that she was sober because she only drank a bottle of beer. Honestly, she started hugging him and said that he was the only one who was nice to her. The rest just want to deceive her. Dr. Qiu thought those idiots had drugged her. If she continues to behave like this, he will lose control. He asked her for forgiveness. Then he took her in his arms. He stuck 2 needles in her, said those 2 needles would make her sleep for a while. They will also remove alcohol from the blood. He thought it would be best to bring her to the blue VIP room. Director Long told him that he was so lucky because he just wandered around and brought this lady with him. He has a lot to learn from him. Xin asked that she was their student, wasn't she? And she asked Dr. Qiu what he had done to her. The wife's doctor came to his defense and told the woman to take her time, because she must have drunk a lot and therefore fell asleep. Dr. Qiu said he stumbled upon her while she was being molested by 2 perverts, so he did what he had to. Sen asked him that he did what he had to. She thinks he just wanted to touch her. Dr. Qiu said that she was almost awake. If she didn't believe him, then she should ask her. Tianling woke up and asked where is she. She has a terrible headache. Xin asked her student that this pervert got her drunk and harassed her, is not it? Dr. Qiu asked Xin if she still hated him for that incident at the office. Tianling hugged Dr. Qiu, said that it was good that he was here. If not for him, then her life would not have come to an end. Dr. Qiu told Xin if she could see. Xin thought, can't she get Xiong Yu's nails? How could she call off her engagement to him? Dr. Qiu said that it was good if they understood everything, then he would go. Tianling told the doctor to wait, she would show him his small room. Someone turned to the doctor of the wives and asked if it was possible to go with her, because they were very worried about him. Meanwhile, a group of men came to this place. The old man asked Liu Hong what it was here, didn't he? Liu Hong told Mr. Daxing that, yes, this idiot not only beat him up, but also took the girl out of the karaoke room. The master said that he did not take them into account. He thinks he just wanted to go to hell. and ordered all his brothers to beat him to death. Just then, Dr. Qiu came out of this place. The man told his older brother that it was him. The gentleman said he was fine, just in time. The man told his older brother that he insulted not only him, therefore he must avenge them. The master said that what a sissy he is. He does not need to beat him, because today he will deal with this himself. He must look carefully, after which he swung and wanted to hit Dr. Qiu. But he bent down and therefore Mr. Long got hit in the face. Mr. Long grabbed his face and began to scream. Was the old man surprised? Dr. Qiu picked up a coin and said that he was lucky. He just left the restaurant and found 1 yuan. The director started yelling, "Who is he? How dare he hit him?" Dr. Qiu told this old man that he hit him in the face even with a bat. How angry he is. The old man was very frightened and asked the master for forgiveness. Director Lon said that he remembers the last time he had lunch with the Black Dragon boss. He poured drinks for him. Why did he hit him? Did the old man say to Master Long that he could explain all this? This is just a misunderstanding. Director Lon said that a misunderstanding. In his opinion, he does not see all the people behind him. Was it really his boss who told him to come here to beat him up? The old man said no, it's just a misunderstanding. He once again asked for his forgiveness. He really sorry. They will immediately leave here. Dr. Qiu turned to his future wife and said that as she sees it, this is the one who forced her student to do this work. As the leader, she must do something. Xin said she would consider a solution. Principal Lon said that the problems with the blue are his problems, and he told this old man to give him a contract between him and this student. The old man handed him this contract and asked him to calm down. Master Lon thought that he could solve this problem on his own. Dr. Qiu is just showing off, after which he burned this contract. Then he told this old man that he burned the contract. Now he is forbidden to see this student. Is it clear to him? They will never see her again. The students thanked Dr. Qiu and said that she was finally safe. Dr. Qiu said that thanks should be said to Master Long. Xin thought he wasn't as bad as she thought. Had she made a mistake about him? Dr. Qiu told the student that she no longer needed to do this kind of work. After that, everyone started to disperse. But it's in the old man. Here he stopped Dr. Qiu and told him that he could not leave so easily. At this moment, Dr. Qiu accidentally dropped his food bags, and all the food was scattered. Dr. Qiu turned around and told this old man that he had ruined his month's worth of food. The old man was surprised and thought that what a cheap atmosphere. It is even difficult for him to speak. He only mumbled the words of forgiveness. Dr. Qiu hit him on the head and asked what an apology huh. He even thought about what he would eat all this time. The old man fell so that his knees did not break the road. Dr. Qiu continued on his way again and told this old man that it was better for him not to move because his bones were broken. This is punishment for his food. Like a big boss, he must be polite. Don't touch other people's shoulders. His people approached the boss and asked how he was. The boss said it was okay unless he got back pain. He would kill him, and told that guy that from now on he would not remind him of this again clearly to him. The man said it was clear. The old man put on his glasses and said okay, they have to leave. The guy said yes, he would help him. The old man said slower because his bones were broken. The guy offered to call an ambulance. The old man said he had had enough. Dr. Wien asked Xiong Yu if his home is far from here. Xiong Yu said about 30 kilometers. The wife's doctor suggested to him that they had better ask Xin to take them away from here. Master Long told Xin to stay with him because he would be worried if she went with Dr. Qiu. The student asked Dr. Qiu if he would take her with him. Dr. Qiu said of course. Xin told Headmaster Long that he should mind his own business and she would contact him later. Director Lon said well, he would be looking forward to her call. He thought that even though her corporation had succeeded, so she even began to brag, but let her wait until their company merged into one. Then he would teach her a lesson. Xin had already put everyone in the car and drove them home. The wife's doctor asked her if she had bought herself a new car. Xin said no, it was a present from her mother for her last birthday. Dr. Qiu said that their mother is so kind. Xin said it was her mother. Dr. Qiu said that this car is much better than the last one. And Xin said that it is that their family is very rich. This car costs at least 50,000 yuan, right? Xin did not answer him. Doctor, his wife told him that he was joking so funny. This car is a limited edition Bentley from last year. There are only 20 such machines in the whole world. At present, one car costs 7 or 8 million yuan. Dr. Zhu said that his poverty limits his imagination. What an expensive gift. Xin told him that as long as he agreed to her proposal, she would transfer 100 million to him. She'll make him rich. What does he think about it? Dr. Qiu said that he thinks it's not worth it, because he prefers beauty and talent. Moreover, if this happens, will he become happier? Xin told him not to worry, it wouldn't happen. Dr. Qiu told her to stop the car here because the alley is too narrow. They will continue on foot. They got out of the car and Dr. Qiu said it was here they should follow him. The wife's doctor told him that the conditions here were not the best. Dr. Qiu said that a person gets used to everything. He lived in worse places. Xin thought what an old place this is. It's her first time in a place like this. She drew attention to the wall and thought, what is this stuck on the wall? She was embarrassed and thought that she could not look at such a thing. Dr. Qiu opened his apartment and said that he lives here and asked everyone to pass. There was a girl in my heart. She asked him if he was already at home. The renovations to her apartment haven't finished yet, so she can't move out just yet. Dr. Qiu thought that he forgot that Jun was still here. The wife's doctor asked if that was a woman's voice. Jun came out of the bath and said that she would sleep in his room tonight. Okay. Junya came out of the bath wearing only a towel. She asked Dr. Qiu what these people. Xin could not stand it and asked him that he really had a girlfriend, and he discussed marriage with her. Qiu said he would explain everything to her. Xin said that if he couldn't clear things up, she would tell Grandpa everything. Dr. Qiu said it was hard enough to explain. Or was she going to tell Grandpa everything first? The wife's doctor told Xin to wait for her. Jun apologized to Dr. Qiu and asked that it was all because of her misunderstood, right? Dr. Qiu said that everything was fine. He did not blame her, and he would explain everything to them later. Tianling said she believed him. Dr. Qiu asked her if she hadn't left yet. It's very late, so he can walk her home. He said, Jun, that he would take her to the dorm. She must lock the door, and he will come soon. Tianling thanked him. They left the house and met Jun's ex-boyfriend again. This man said, isn't that the waitress from KTV? He told Dr. Qiu that he was lucky. He found himself a waitress, although he has a girlfriend, doesn't he? How ridiculous is that? Dr. Qiu asked him how did he know she was a KTV worker. He goes there often, doesn't he? He asked the student if she knew him. Tianling said he looked very familiar. He often goes to KTV. Moreover, he has a very good relationship with one girl named Juhua. She heard that every time he enters this place, he takes her for the night, but she does not know what they are doing there. Dr. Qiu told him that one of the companies and one of the KW. What a fine fellow he was. Great job. The man told him to shut up. Dr. Qiu told Zhang that she should be careful because her boyfriend is a terrible womanizer. No matter how you got something. Chuzhen asked Tianxiang if it was true, and she ran away from him. Tianxiang ran after her and told her not to listen to them. He is completely healthy. Tianling told Dr. Qiu that he was simply incredible. He was even speechless. Dr. Qiu told her that she sincerely praised him. Zhang did not let him into the apartment and told him to go to his Juhua, to keep him away from her. Tianxiang asked her for forgiveness and said that he was to blame. It's very late, so let him into the house. He begs her to let him in. Jun looked out of Dr. Qiu's apartment and asked the doctor why is he so fast. But when she saw her ex-boyfriend, she immediately slammed the door. Then she opened it again and spat at it. Tiania Zhang said that Dr. Qiu was the one to blame. Dr. Qiu had already seen the girl off and said that this was her school. Her contract was terminated today, so she no longer has to work at this place. The girl said yes. Dr. Qiu said that one more thing, she should rest more and keep a regimen, and also not drink or smoke. The student said she understood. She knows that he did all this to help her. She bowed to him and thanked him again. Dr. Qiu said that she was his patient after all. Should he have done it? Then the girl noticed something in the bushes and asked what it was. Is it this hand? Then she shouted to the doctor that there was a man in the bushes. Is this a corpse? He needs to be careful. Maybe they should call the police. Dr. Qiu climbed into the bushes, said that it was not necessary. Who would take it into his head to throw a corpse into the street? She should be standing there, and he will check everything first. It was Fairy Yu. He asked why is it so late? Why is she lying here? Tianling asked him if he really knew her. Is everything okay with her? Dr. Qiu said that, yes, she was in the same school as her. She must have been drunk and passed out. He asked a student to help him, and he uses acupuncture to wake her up. His disciple was embarrassed and asked him why he did the same to her. Dr. Qiu said yes, but he only used 2 needles. He took Yang Fei in his arms and asked her if she was already awake. Yang Fei recognized him. She began to cry and asked for forgiveness for doubting him. He was right, she was indeed pregnant. She begs him, no, she begs. He must help her get an abortion. Tianling was embarrassed again and thought that she was really pregnant by Dr. Qiu. But he already has one woman at home, doesn't he? No, but he's the headmistress Chu's fiancé, they're even engaged. What is going on? He's a good person, isn't he? Dr. SBN told Yang Fei that she takes such bad care of herself. Why does she drink during pregnancy? Yang Fei said that she decided to have an abortion, drink or not does not matter at all. She just wanted to forget about her problems. She broke up with him and she is still a schoolgirl. How can she leave the child? Dr. Qiu asked her if she hated her boyfriend. Jan Fate said that of course she hates him. From the very beginning, he did not love her, but simply played with her feelings. Tian Ling exhaled and said that it was not his child. She just made a mistake. Dr. Qiu asked her that she wants revenge, right? Yang Fei said yes. She told the doctor that if he helped her, she would definitely repay him. Only his father is the vice president of the public security department. Their power is great. Dr. Qiu told her that if she wants it, then there is no problem. If she remembers, then he has a friend, and he is going to defeat her ex. Yana Fei said that she heard from him that although his friend is talented, he does not train, and her ex-boyfriend is a master of taekwondo sports. Dr. Qiu told her that both of her were not worried because he was exercising, but if she cheered him up, he would be much better. Yang Fei said she would try. In the meantime, Dr. Qiu had already recruited a black bear. The black bear asked him what it was. Why is he calling him so late? Dr. Qiu said no big deal, he just wanted to know how his training was. Does he have progress? The black bear said yes. They practice, but is he sure that this technique will help him defeat him? Dr. Qiu told him to believe him, everything is possible. And he told the black bear that Yang Fei was next to him. She said that if he won, she would invite him to dinner, and told the girl that now it's her turn. The black bear told Dr. Qiu not to fool him. Yang Fei gathered her strength and told the black bear that she had bet on him, so he has to defeat her ex. And will she invite him to dinner? The black bear immediately got up and asked if this was true. Then of course, the call was completed, and the black bear, knocking the monkey off the pole, said that now it was his turn. He told Yang Fei not to worry. In 3 months he will be defeated by him. He will kneel down and apologize to her. The monkey was surprised and asked him how he could do the most difficult thing. And why is it so unexpected? The power of love is indeed great. Dr. Qiu told the girl that she saw that he was trying hard. If he could win, then let her remember to buy him dinner. Yang Fei said well, she promises. Then Dr. Qiu told the students to go home. Will he go too? And he said, Yang Fei, that they would see tomorrow afternoon. Dr. Qiu thought that he had only recently returned to the city, and already there were so many problems. Was what his grandfather told him really true? A man in their family always solves not only their own problems. God, he almost passed by. Here we have a video in the window that Zhang forgave this man and let him into the apartment. The man thanked her for believing in him. Zhang told him that she let him in advance. From now on, he should no longer touch other women. Dr. Qiu thought that Junya must be asleep. Tian Zhang told her that he swears. He certainly won't touch another woman. Zhang asked him why did he say such nonsense? Tian Zhang told her that his position in the company was below hers. When they announced their relationship, he would be looked down upon. And he asked her if she could make him vice manager. Zhang told him so that he doesn't worry. She assigned the project manager to Lin a month ago, and he still hasn't reported back. She has heard everything going on, but she doesn't think he will complete his project on time. She pulled off a couple of tricks in order to increase difficult tasks. Then, she will put him in, and he will complete this project faster. After that, she will nominate him to the board of directors, and they will surely agree with her that the Ling manager is not doing well. Tian Zhang said it was great. If it worked, they could make their relationship public. Zhang said yes, he should know that she would do anything for him. Dr. Qiu thought what kind of assholes they were. Poor manager Ling. He didn't even think that this would happen to him. After that, he again began to eavesdrop on them. But after that, he could not stand it and jumped off, saying that he could no longer listen to it. Since June now at his house, he can't drown it out. He came back a few days ago and still hasn't practiced all the martial arts. He thinks now is the time. A woman was passing by. Looking at her watch, she said that it was over 12. Lin was already sleeping. She is just worthless. She works late for the sake of just to feed herself and the children. Then she stopped and saw a hospital gown lying on the bushes. She asked that who already left it here. She held it in her hands and said that it looked like Dr. Qiu's clothes. Will she take her home? But looking further down the path, I saw the rest of his clothes. She began picking up all the rest of her clothes. She asked why he scattered his clothes here. She needs to get it back. Dr. Qiu told Xiao Lan not to move. Xiao Lan stopped and thought that it was Dr. Qiu's voice. She looked up and saw a man dressed as a chicken. She asked what is chicken. He pulled her towards him. He said that what a beauty she is, she has such a cool figure. And he asked her what can they practice, Tai Chi. Dr. Qiu ran to her aid and told her that he was not in control. She should not agree. But Xiao Lan agreed. Dr. Qiu jumped on top of this chicken and told him to let her go or he. But this chicken hit him in the face. Dr. Qiu thought things were very bad. He couldn't control him. Is he out of control? Then sounds were heard in the bushes. The next day, all the clothes were scattered on the branches of the trees. Dr. Qiu received a call from Grandpa Qiu. Dr. Qiu picked up the phone and asked Grandpa, why is he calling him? Grandfather asked him if he was free tonight and suggested that he dine at his house tonight. Dr. Qiu said that they would see each other well. Then he abruptly jumped up and saw that a naked Xiao Lan was lying on him. He asked what happened. He thought that maybe. Now he understood. He went to the forest to practice martial arts, and he and that chicken practiced together. He heard the sound of footsteps towards her and thought that someone always comes this late. This person is getting closer and closer. He looked and saw Xiao Lan, but then he saw that the chicken was bleeding. He said that it was bad, because grandfather said that no one should interfere during a couple's training. Otherwise, everything will get out of control. He got distracted and lost the chicken, and he's out of control. The chicken went into mega mode. That's the end. At that moment, he shouted at the girl not to come here. Well, then she knows everything herself. They were already in the 2 departments and the girl told him not to worry, although he told her this. She understood everything, that she simply did not deserve him. Dr. Qiu told her that everything he told her was true. He said that she should believe him, because last night. But the girl did not listen to him and said that it was clear she had had enough, she would go to work. And I asked him that it's better for them not to return to this anymore, okay. Dr. Qiu told her not to worry, and he himself thought that she did not believe him. And all this for the sake of fulfilling the last wish of grandfather. All these years he kept his virginity. Jun houses, but even so he restrained himself. God, what a nightmare, why did this happen? Then it dawned on him, and he grabbed his face and said that his face was no longer paralyzed. This is wonderful. Even grandfather could not cure him. Maybe it's all about last night. Here 2 students call him. It was Yongfei and Tianling. Dr. Qiu said they were already here. Yongfei said yes, he told her yesterday to find him. Tianling said that she was worried about her health, so she came too. Dr. Steele said they should have made friends yesterday. It's good, because friends are always good. And he invited them to go to his room. One of them asked if that woman was not there anymore. Dr. Qiu said yes, she had gone to work. He told Yongfei not to worry, it was very simple for her. She won't feel pain. He's already prepared everything, so they need to get started. She must take off her clothes. Yongfei asked why should she undress. Dr. Qiu told her not to worry because he would close his eyes and see nothing. Tianling told Dr. Qiu that he was simply incredible. He can even heal with closed eyes. She thought that only happens in comics. Yongfei agreed and said Dr. Qiu was great. She believes him. Dr. Qiu said that nothing to worry them. He would close his eyes first. He put on a bandage so that his eyes were completely open and told Yongfei to undress. The girl asked him why he was laughing at her. Is he a ninja turtle? Dr. Qiu laughed and begged for forgiveness, saying he was at fault. Tianling said that, but it seems he did it on purpose. Dr. Qiu went to his bed again and began to do something. He said that he would fix everything now. Now he put on a normal bandage and said to start. After 30 minutes, Dr. Qiu finished everything and said everything was fine. Tianling can enter. He told her that Yongfei is now very weak and needs to sleep. Let no one disturb her. He will go to Director Qiu's house and she must take care of her friend. Tianling told Dr. Qiu not to worry, she was here to help her. And she herself thought that she did not believe in his abilities until she saw everything with her own eyes. Dr. Qiu walked towards Grandpa's inn. He thought that a lot of people greeted him last time. There must be some preparation going on right now. Then the car took him and grandfather as the main hall. Today this is not the case. People leave relationships too. An easy way on foot, how rough it is. But he thinks that everything is not so simple. Then he noticed a fire extinguisher and said it was great. Meanwhile, Grandpa Qiu was watching him through binoculars. He said that this fellow never ceases to amaze him. Despite this whole situation, he is extremely calm. As he expected, he chose the right person. He will be successful very soon. However, Xin does not believe him. She wants to break off this engagement. She will definitely regret it in the future. The woman asked Yuan if the father was going to break his promise. Yuan said no way. Yuan told his brother-in-law that they discussed it. He cannot break his promise. Xin said she would end her life if he forced her to marry this guy. His wife was supportive and said that Xiong Yu did not deserve their family. Yuan said it was true. Qiu's family is very large. How can this poor man marry Xin? They will be so embarrassed. The father exhaled and said, okay, he knows that, and now they need to go and meet Xiong Yu. They went out to meet him. Grandpa said that it was enough, he had to get off the fire extinguisher. Xiong Yu went up to Grandpa and greeted him and asked him how is he doing. Grandfather said that they had not seen each other for a long time. He prepared a lot of delicious food for him. Then they moved on to the dining room. Xiong Yu asked him that he didn't only invite him to dinner, did he? Qiu's grandfather said that to be honest, he wants her and Xin to get married. They worked it out with his grandfather. He always wanted to know the reason, didn't he? So now he will tell him about everything. He and his grandfather promised to be brothers to each other. They tried to hit Grandma Xin, but she became his wife. 25 years ago, her grandmother died in an accident. His grandfather thought he was responsible for her death. In the same year, Xiong Yu was also born. As compensation, they decided to have their engagement in the future. Xiong Yu said he understood, but he thought the wedding would be cancelled. The woman told him that he would get everything from this, right? However, for their family, this wedding will be at a loss. Moreover, they don't want Xin to marry him. She and her husband consulted, and she asked her husband to give her a check. The woman told him that if he agrees to call off the engagement for 200 million, then this check will be his. He should think about it carefully. It's like winning the lottery for him. He won't make that much money in his entire life. Xiong Yu said that the 200 million check sounded very attractive. The woman handed him the papers and said that so let him sign the contract. Xiong Yu was surprised and said, what a pile of papers. It looks like they are really ready. The woman could not stand it and told him to go with the flow. He must take the money and get out of here. Lord Qiu had just explained to him that this wedding was just a joke. Xiong Yu said that he did not see a reason to refuse, so he would sign. As for the money he recently borrowed from the Blue, he will return everything to them in the future. From now on, there is nothing between them. The woman called him a peasant and said that any dish here costs hundreds of yuan. Xiong Yu pierced this check with a fork and said that about this person, he does not need it. He turned to his grandfather and said that if they agreed to terminate the engagement, then he nothing to say. He's not selling his daughter. The woman said she hoped he wouldn't regret it. Xiong Yu said, thank you very much to Grandpa Qiu for dinner and he will invite him next time. The woman told him that it was not necessary because none of them would see him again. Grandpa Qiu asked for his forgiveness. When Dr. Xing left, Grandpa sighed and said that this child was an uncut diamond. Xin should regret this. He looked at the table and saw no plates there and asked where the food was. Why is there nothing here? Yuan Kai said he hadn't eaten anything yet. The woman asked where is all the food. What happened? Xiong Yu called her tenant and told her not to cook dinner tonight. He will bring them something delicious. The woman told him that Yang Jai was working and asked him if he could take her home. She is in block 41 in Bing'an district teaching this girl Xiao Nai. Xiong Yu said no problem. He went in that direction and thought it must be here. Two children ran past him. The boy yelled at Xiao Nai to slow down. Xiao Nai called out to him to catch her. Xing Yang leaned over to this girl and asked that her name was Xiao Nai, right? Xiao Nai said yes and asked what is it. Xiong Yu told her that now she must study. Why is she here? Xiao Nai said that the teacher suddenly fell asleep, so her father told her to go outside while he helped her. Xiong Yu asked her how long she had been here. Xiao Nai said which is only 5 minutes. Xiong Yu told her to go to the next block to the police. She must say that there are problems at home. Xiong Yu went to the right house and asked what was the 5th floor. It's already late. This girl's father began to molest Yang Jai. He told her that she would let him explore her body a little. Xiong Yu couldn't wait and went straight to the 5th floor on the board with the help of water. The man was surprised and asked what. Xiong Yu then broke into the apartment. The man asked him what he was. Dr. Xing saw that Yang Jai was already without clothes and hit the man and called him a pervert. He approached Yang Jai and said that she had taken sleeping pills. If he was late, she would be in danger. What women's clothing? Complicated. How to put it on. Then Yana Jai woke up. Dr. Xing asked her if she had already woken up. Yang Jai asked him why is he here? She learned Xiao Nai, didn't she? The Xing doctor told her that Xiao Nai's father put her to sleep, but he arrived on time and nothing happened to her. Yangtze said she remembered he gave her a cup of coffee. After that, she herself began to beat him, calling him a pervert. Dr. Xing told her that he was already unconscious. He looked out the window and said that the police were already here and they had to go. Yang Jai asked him how would they get down? Dr. Xing said that the police would enter through the main entrance, so they'll go out the window. He took the curtains and made a kind of balloon out of it. He took the Yang Kai in his hands and told her not to look down as it was high up here. The police had already reached their apartment and said that the men were unconscious here. Mama Xiao Nai also arrived in time. She asked the policeman what happened here because she just went to the store. The policeman said that her child called them here. She said that something happened at home and they came. Yang Jai asked Dr. Xing if they were in big trouble. Dr. Xing said that, yes, he would take her home and then he would explain everything to the police. The policewoman said that she first thought that someone had broken into the house and beat him and then fled. But the weapon is a surfboard. The policeman told her that the victim was a gangster. It must be a personal feud. This case is very important. They should consider everything carefully and look for any evidence. Yang Zai told Dr. Xing that if he wasn't there, she wouldn't be able to return home. Dr. Xing told her that she should be careful. Yang Zai said that as long as he was by her side, she would always be safe. But after she left home, she felt some pain in her chest. The doctor all asked her what could be a side effect of sleeping pills, but he brought it out completely. Yang Zai asked him that he was the school doctor, right? Should he check it out? Then the girl began to undress. Dr. Xing told her that it would be very bad outside if they were seen, so she should get dressed soon. Yang Zai told him that he was stupid. This is the outskirts, there is no one here. Dr. Xing thought he didn't fasten her bra properly. He was even afraid that her health was in danger. But then a policewoman stood in front of them. Dr. Steele thought, why was there a policeman? Had she noticed him? The woman told him that he was suspected of beating a man. Dr. Xing said, well, he made every effort to help the police. This girl is innocent, so don't let them implicate her. Yang Kai said that she would go too, since she could be a witness. Dr. Xing told her not to worry. She should go home and take care of Yang Fei. Yang Zai told him that if something happened to him, she would not survive. The policeman told her that she shouldn't be so worried, because it was just a small dialogue. Dr. Xing told her not to do anything stupid. If he intervenes in the investigation, then everything will be fine. Yang Zai said she couldn't bear it, she can't let them take him. Yu Zai's father is a very important person, she can ask her to help free Dr. Xing. At this time, Yu Zai received this message. She asked her father to do her a favor. She told him that a man named Xiong Yu had been arrested because of a crime. He is now in the police and asked him if he could do so that he was detained for a few days. Father forgot a little in confusion, but said, okay, she shouldn't be so nervous, because it's bad for the heart. Meanwhile at the police station, the doctor told the lady all over that he had told her everything. So he expects a fair decision. The cameras were supposed to capture it. The cops told him that the surfboard, take away food, and his remarks matched the evidence. But the man is injured, what happened? Here his statements and phrases of the victim are completely different. They must go to the hospital in order to find out anything else. Dr. Xing said of course. When they arrived at the hospital, they heard screams. This man called his wife names and asked her shiz how did she tell them that he was a member of a gangster organization. The woman told Jing Long that she did it for him. The police officer said she didn't understand how he could marry someone. She approached Ms. Zhu and said that it was the one who had beaten her husband. Ms. Zhu asked what is it he? Dr. Xing apologized. Ms. Zhu said that after her husband joined the gang, he always fights with someone and has many enemies. She knew it would happen someday, but she hopes that he will forgive him for the sake of the child. Dr. Xing told her not to worry because she had misunderstood. He turned to police officer Zhu, told her that she had been deceived by him. Can he talk to him first? Police Zhu told him that only quickly. The man told him that he offended them, so let him wait together. Dr. Xing told him that he had already defeated many of his organization. They need to get on topic. He hit him after he did something bad, but his so-called little brother can still be cured. The man asked, is it true? But the doctor said he was useless now. Now he began to address Dr. Xing more respectfully and told him to help him. In exchange for help, he won't hurt him. The rest of the sleeping pills are still in his house under his pillow. Dr. Xing said okay, but he can't make this decision on his own. Did he just come here to investigate? The four of them need to discuss everything. The policewoman said that we need to hurry, because it is under the pillow. Lady Zhu told her that they had been discovered. The man told Dr. Zhu that, how dare he deceive him. The policeman told Dr. Xing that they had found a condominium under his pillow. He would no longer be able to deny anything. Dr. Xing he said that justice had been served, albeit late. The policeman told him that she needed to report. She should apologize to him. Dr. Xing said everything was fine. Meanwhile, Yu Zai's father was sitting in his office. He mentally asked his daughter for forgiveness and said that there was nothing he could do. Xiong Yu is good. He dealt with the incident very quickly. In less than half a day, he proved his innocence, which is very interesting. And I thought it might be useful. Meanwhile, Yu Zai came to this hospital and thought that Dr. Xing must have already been arrested, and he didn't need to mess with her. Dr. Xing noticed her and asked her what she was doing here. The girl was surprised and asked him, why is he not at the police station? The doctor told her all the way that he went there to help them. He asked her that she had come for an examination. Hadn't she? Yu Zai thought, who even told him that? Her illness is already over, let's see what he has to say about it. Dr. Xing looked at her and asked that she doubled her dose. Yu Si asked him what, how did he know? Dr. Xing said that I wanted to increase the dose to improve health, but it could also harm them. Yu Zai told him no, he's lying. It was prescribed by the best doctor in town. Dr. Qiu told her that if she continues to take the same amount, then her body will get used to it. Then she will definitely not be able to overcome her illness. Yu Zai was shocked and said it couldn't be. She didn't believe him. He handed her a piece of paper and told her to show his prescription to her doctor. He thinks he will understand. Of course, this is a temporary treatment. In the future, it will change depending on the state of her health. Yu Zai said that she would immediately go and talk to her doctor. Dr. Qiu told her that they would see each other again, but she should think twice. Yu Zai told him that if he only tried to deceive her, he would only get worse, after which she left. Dr. Qiu said do it well, she still hates him. These patients are very difficult. Then he remembered something and thought that he forgot to return her thing. It would not be very good to keep it here, still not to forget about it later. Then the teacher Tong entered his office, and I saw that he was holding a Yu Zai bra in his hands. Dr. Qiu told her that she should have knocked. The Tong teacher asked him how could she know that he was playing with a woman's bra. Then she went to his office and told him what she wanted. Dr. Qiu told her that he understood. Her father had an accident and is now in a coma. The Tong teacher said yes. Foreign doctors told her that there was very little chance of recovery, so she wanted to consult Chinese doctors. If Mr. Qiu is not here, then she should leave. Dr. Qiu told her that although today is Mr. Qiu's day off, it is not necessary to run away. She must take him to her father. He also knows a little about traditional medicine. The Tong teacher looked at him carefully and thought that in Chinese medicine, experience is of great importance. But he is too young. But she thinks it's still worth giving him a chance. And I told him that okay, they need to go. Dr. Qiu told her that he didn't know she lived in a hostel. The Tong teacher told him that it is more convenient for her to take care of her father. She almost never leaves his room. Dr. Qiu said that everything is fine, because patients need proper care. Dr. Qiu approached her father and said that he must have been in a coma for several months. The Tong teacher said yes, 4 months, to whom she just did not turn. But they all just shook their heads. She thought that she was very pleasantly surprised. She looked down on him in vain. Maybe there is still a chance for recovery. Dr. Qiu asked her if she had a recent CT scan. The Tong teacher said yes, and handed him the study. Dr. Qiu studied it and said that he thought her father had a blood clot in his head. This blood clot compresses the nerves, and therefore her father cannot wake up. If it is removed, then the nerves will calm down and he will be able to wake up. The Tong teacher asked him what should she do. Dr. Qiu said she should calm down first. Father's condition will not improve in a couple of days. She needs to pull herself together. Even if he can use the latest technology, it will take months. After which he got ready to leave and told Miss Tong that he had to go. They would start tomorrow. The Tong teacher said it was good. Now she is calmer when she knows that her father still has a chance to recover. After that, he met Yang Jai again. She asked him why didn't he tell her that he had left the police station. She was very worried about him. Dr. Noyes asked her forgiveness and said that he was to blame. Yang Jai told him that his apology was useless. Also, when she was in the house, he did something to her while she was unconscious, didn't he? Dr. Qiu said that of course not. She was completely naked, so he only helped her get dressed. Yang Jai was embarrassed and said how innocent he was. He saw her body and did not even deign to appreciate it. He saw everything, so let him tell her that her body is better than Jun's. What lives with him in the next room, right? Dr. Qiu asked what? Yang Jai asked him that she was much more beautiful than her, wasn't she? Dr. Qiu asked Yang Jai to let him go. Yang Jai said no, and told him to tell her whose chest is bigger than her or Jun. Xiong Yu told himself to calm down, he could handle it. But it reminds him of the same feeling, even if it ended badly. If he uses her body again, then the fat woman will kick him out of the house. So he pushed the girl away and told her that he couldn't take it anymore. Yang Jai told him that this time he was fine, but let him not hope for the next time. Dr. Qiu ran away from her at a sufficient distance and said that she was on her way again. Not all men like big breasts, small ones are good too. Here comes the message. They sent him a video. He asked what kind of video she sent him. He turned on this video, and in the video, Yang Jai asked him how is he? Does he see everything clearly this time? Dr. Qiu's nose bled again and he said okay. He lied. Big boobs are the best. Then he turned off this video and said that Xiao Lang works on this street. He should meet and apologize to her. Xiao Lang worked as a waitress. She greeted the guests and said welcome to their restaurant. Their today's concert is a maid and asked the man that how can she help him. She brought water to the same man who had molested Jun at the time. The man stared at her breasts and said that he would like ice water. Xiao Lan was not very happy with this whole situation at all. She wondered what was wrong with her boss. How did he come up with this idea? The restaurant is not very popular because of its quality, right? Why should it concern waiters in her homeland? Then the man got angry and grabbed her by the hand and asked what would this do. She spilled water on him. Xiao Lang asked for forgiveness and said that she was thinking. She asked him to remove his hand and she would help him. This man chuckled and thought that this fool was seduced. She did not notice that it was he who spilled the water, and he told her that he only needed her to go to his house and wash his trousers. Xiao Long asked what. The man said that she wet his underpants. Then Xiong Yu came and asked him what he said. Who does he want to take home with him? The men got scared and asked him, what is it really him again? Why does he always appear at the wrong moment? Then the manager of this restaurant came up and told them to calm down. If they want to fight, they must leave the restaurant. Xiong Yu said that he had a question for him. Why does he constantly see himself doing something bad when he goes out? And hit the man between the legs. Xiao Lan wondered if he was doing this because of her. Dr. Xing then took her by the hand and told them to go. She has to ask her boss for the day off tomorrow. Xiao Lang asked him to wait as she had not changed yet. The manager yelled at them not to leave. They don't have customers, now they don't even have a waitress. Is his restaurant going to close soon? Xiao Lang asked him where they were going. Dr. Xing said to the cinema. She probably hasn't seen anything in a long time. Should this be an apology for that night? Xiao Lang was embarrassed and said yes. And I think that the cinema, this is where couples go on their first date, isn't it? They came to the cinema and have already started watching the movie. Dr. Xing was not happy. He thought it was a bad movie. The special effects, the theme of romance all make him feel uncomfortable. He looked at Xiao Lan out of the corner of his eye and thought, does she really like it? But he saw that she was crying and was very surprised. He thought that she was crying. Maybe he just doesn't understand her. When the film ended, they took to the streets and Dr. Xing asked her how did she like the film? Xiao Lang said she didn't watch it much, she was thinking about the past. But then the girl stopped. Dr. Qiu asked what happened. Had that idiot hurt her? Xiao Lang said no, everything is fine. She knows one of the 3 people that are fighting there. The man on the right is her ex-husband, whose name is Zhao. The girl yelled at Zhao not to come near. She checked him out, and he was obviously engaged. He even has a daughter. She was so blind when she married him. Zhao asked Zhang Chun what she wanted to say. Does she want to sue? Does she say he's married? She must show him the evidence and tell him where it is. Let her take a look at herself. Even though she is married, she continues to spend time with this freak all day. Zhang Chun told him that she had no power over him. All this because he is delaying the divorce. Lei, this girl's new boyfriend, told Zhao that all he wanted was money, didn't he? How much does he need to divorce her? Zhang Chun told him not to talk to him anymore, they just need to sue him. Zhao asked what to sue him. She can't do anything without proof. If she doesn't give him 500,000 yuan, he will make them regret it for the rest of their lives. Dr. Xing came up to him. He told him that his damn words really hurt him. Zhao tensed up and asked who is he. He shouldn't stick his nose in, it's none of his business. Dr. Xing said he didn't know him, but he should know her. Zhao was even more surprised when he saw Xiao Lan. He told her that she had to return to her hometown after his scam. Xiao Lan told him that it had been 2 years and she had finally found him. Zhang Chun said that finally justice had been served. And she asked Zhao, what will he do now? And will he say? Zhao fell on his knees in front of this girl and said that it was his mistake. She should give him another chance. She should not leave him, because without her he can only return to his hometown. But his ex-girlfriend said that he saved these words for judgment. Dr. Xing took Xiao Lan with him and said that they should go. They should let them settle their differences on their own. Xiao Lan thanked him, and she told him that he had given her the courage to meet him. Lei ran up to them and asked them to wait, and thanked him too. Dr. Xing asked him if he knew him too. This man said that he was a physical education teacher at Chenchang University. When he taught Guanping a lesson, he was there too. And it's really impressive. Zhang Chun invited Xiao Lan to have dinner together. Xiao Lan said that she is now asking Xiong Yu about it, and whispers told him that they had better have dinner at the restaurant where she works. She can also change clothes. She's really embarrassed when she's dressed like that. Dr. Seal said that the maid costume is very cute. Can he enjoy this beauty for a long time? Xiao Lan said that but she feels uncomfortable in this form on the street. They again came to this restaurant, and there they were met by the manager. He asked them what they wanted. This manager dressed in a maid outfit. Dr. Xing told him not to ruin his fantasies, but dressed as a maid. The managers laughed and apologized, saying that he just thought people like that. After which he brought them a dish called the Face Against the Sky and said that this is the best in their restaurant. Here are all the most famous strange dishes. They must follow the trends. Lei told Dr. Xing that he was not hungry, so he thought cola would be enough. His girlfriend said that she was on a diet, so she would also refuse to eat. Dr. Qiu asked the manager, is there any normal food on the menu? The manager asked what, but is it not? Dr. Qiu said yes, let them show them real, incredible Chinese food. The manager said there was no meat in the kitchen. What can he cook? Xiao Lan said that his vegan food is much better than this one. 15 minutes later everything was ready. Dr. Qiu said that there are not many ingredients here, he was only able to make this. Grilled meat with sweet sauce. Xiao Lan said it looked delicious. The boss said it couldn't be, he remembers there was no meat in the kitchen. Zhang Chun said that this taste. It's not meat, it's tofu. She is surprised that Dr. Qiu was able to use tofu instead of meat. Incredibly, tofu is lean like meat but still retains the taste of meat. How can I do that? The boss told him that his meat was covered with a sweet sauce, a real treasure. Would he like to share the recipe and trade 30% of his restaurant shares? Dr. Xing said that he could give him a prescription, but Xiao Lan's work. The boss didn't listen to him and said it was easy. She worked very hard, so he should promote her. From tomorrow she will be the head administrator of their restaurant. Xiao Lan thought that Dr. Qiu didn't need to do this for her. After that, Dr. Qiu decided to walk her home. He told her that they were almost there, and he himself thought that he had not apologized to her for that night. He doesn't know what she thinks about it. He broke down and told her that he had something to tell her. But at that moment, Xiao Lan kissed him. Did she tell him not to? Let her stay with him for a while. And all this was heard by Jun, who was standing around the corner of the house. Dr. Qiu told Xiao Lan that that night was a mistake. Xiao Lan said it's okay, they are all responsible. Dr. Qiu told her not to worry. He would take care of her. Xiao Lang told him that he did a lot for her. After that night, she thought about many things. She doesn't deserve it. When he meets a girl, it is better for her to leave. But she changed her mind, because happiness is still happiness, even if it is for a short time, even if it lasts only a few weeks or months. She just wants to enjoy it before it ends. And she invited Dr. Qiu to meet. Jun stood at the door, heard it all. She thought it looked like he was dating her. That's why he rejected her. But does she still have a chance? What is her place in his heart? The next day, Dr. Qiu was walking around and said it was strange. Why does he feel better after a night out with Xiao Lan? What about the kung fu that his grandfather taught him? Then a blue came up to him and asked him what happened. Was he pretending not to see her? Dr. Qiu told her that there was no relationship between them now. Xin told him that she had heard about it from her grandfather, and thanked him for the dissolution of the marriage. Dr. Qiu said it was nothing. Best wishes. Xin told him that even though they couldn't be friends, they can find them. What does he say about it? Would he like to dine with them? Dr. Qiu told her that he didn't think it was a good idea, they weren't finished yet. One day, she will desperately beg him for a relationship. But if she wants to have lunch, then you can go to a restaurant called West Food. It's very tasty. After which he left. Director Lon asked what is a good restaurant. The name sounds terrible. Let him take her to a better restaurant. Xin asked him what, when will he begin to stay away from her? Let him not think that she will accept him as heir and company. Does she go to a restaurant by herself? Director Lon said it was good. And he himself thought that how dare she? He would marry her anyway and force her to agree. Dr. Qiu came to the workplace. The director told him that the patient had a sore throat, to which Dr. Qiu said that you need to add 4 drops of essential oil. The director said that the nuclear power plant for the wound bleeds. Dr. Qiu said that you need to grind the ginger out to cover the wound. The director said what if a toothache? Dr. Qiu said that you need to use MSG of sick teeth in order to get rid of the pain. The director said it was great, his knowledge is very good. Dr. Qiu told him to eat in honey 2 times a day in order to cure constipation. The director said he was not constipated. He is too young to know so much. In 2 months, but he is afraid that he will become his assistant. Dr. Qiu told managers in no way, and asked, where did the new furniture come from? Haven't they cut the budget? Managers in said it was all thanks to Director Qiu. A check comes to them, and they cannot disgrace themselves. Dr. Qiu thought, what is she going to do? Then there was a knock on the door, and he said that they would arrive with a check very soon. He opened the door and it was Yang Kai. He said she was better now. Yang Jai said, thanks to him, she really felt better. He lacks people, but she can be his assistant. She learns very quickly. Dr. Qiu said he couldn't decide this on his own. She could ask the managers in about it. Managers in said of course. She must wait minutes to and he will give her an assistant's card. And told Dr. Qiu that this was his chance. When he was young, he also did a lot of these things in the clinic. Dr. Qiu told him that he was stronger at the time. Yang Jai asked him if he could teach her some techniques. The doctor kept asking her what, is she really so interested in traditional medicine? He took out books and said that then she would have to learn more about the basics of traditional medicine first. Yang Jai asked that this is too much, isn't it? This is where the test came in. The man said that it was not like Western medicine. Why are there no patients here? He asked Director Qiu, what does this mean? Director Qiu said that traditional medicine is focused on nutritional support, but in their schools the students are young, so. The men plugged their nose and said that it smelled very strongly of herbs. That's why no one likes this place. He thinks it's worth getting rid of this department. Public resources shouldn't be wasted like this. Director Qiu said that he needed to think about it carefully. She told the Guan headmaster that if he destroyed the traditional Chinese medicine department, their school hospital would not be able to be a general hospital. Guan director thought how could he forget about it, and he said that for sure, of course he knows it, so. Dr. Xing interjected, told the Guan director that he was the one who didn't know anything, and he doesn't think he can make the right decision. Director Qiu told him not to talk nonsense. This is actually the head of the Ministry of Health. The Guan director asked how dare such a petty traditional Chinese medicine doctor, how dare he dare him. He told Headmaster Qiu that he should teach him a lesson today, so she shouldn't get in his way. All such young doctors of traditional Chinese medicine, like him, have a job only thanks to connections. Dr. Xing told him that he can test his skills if he wants to. And I asked him that he had kidney problems, didn't he? When he tried to do it last night, he couldn't even take the pills, could he? The Guan director asked how did he know. The woman asked him, what, how will he explain? He said he was going to gamble last night, didn't he? How is it that he slept with another woman? The director of the Guan told his wife that he was too drunk last night to be in control. He vows that this will never happen again. The wife asked what would not happen again. Dr. Xing interjected into their conversation again and told Guan director that his wife had actually also slept with another man last night. He must look at her healthy face, she must have done it more than once. The Guan director asked her what happened last night. Director Qiu, watching this, thought that he was really trying to quarrel them. What a pity, because this Guan family is not as simple as he thinks. The wife whispered to her husband that they could not continue to embarrass themselves here. He doesn't have to admit all of this. In any case, they will talk about it at home. The director of the Guan agreed with her and said that they should teach this doctor a lesson first. The woman attacked Dr. Xing and asked him what he said. Where is the evidence then? That she slept with another man. Will he show them to her? Or will they dissolve their hospital then? Director Guan said that he was the one who had already called the police. Either he shows him the evidence, or he waits to be arrested. Dr. Xing thought that if they continued to deny, they could force them to confess. Will this be his last day? Yang Jai thought Dr. Xing was in trouble. She couldn't bear to look at it. Even if the Black Dragon commune threatened the whole, she should tell the truth. She then told Dr. Xing that she actually knew who his mistress was. Dr. Xing asked her if she was sure. He doesn't want to drag her into it. Yang Jai said yes, she was sure. His mistresses are the karaoke girl. She can take them there to meet her if they want. Director Guan asked the girl, how dare she? Does she want them to find her again? The wife asked her husband what to do now. Dr. Xing told them that they had better leave. When he calls the disciplinary council, it will be too late. The woman asked, what is the disciplinary council? It can't be. Guan must immediately take away his phone. They can't let him get through there. Dr. Xing already dialed the phone and started asking what kind of disciplinary council is this, isn't it? The Guan director rushed over to him and told his wife that he didn't need to be reminded of this. They should all go to jail after the investigation is over. Dr. Xing said he wanted to report 2 people. Deputy Director of the Ministry of Health Guan Zhengyu and his wife are behaving inappropriately. Xiong Yu punched the Guan director in the face so that he would not interfere with him. After that, he continued his conversation on the phone and said that yes, karaoke ballet. The director of the Guan fell on top of his wife, and the woman screamed for help and to remove this pig from her. At this time, a policeman came. She asked who called the police. The woman said that here, under her feet on the floor. The police asked why are they both lying here. The woman asked if she could take this man away from her. The policewoman saw Dr. Xing and asked what happened to these 2 people. Dr. Xing said he didn't know. The policeman said he should go with her. Then a man came and turned to this policewoman and asked her what she could not. She will allow the Ministry of Education to solve this problem. The policewoman asked that the directorate. He is here too. You laughed and said he was just here to study medicine. Didn't think he'd be able to see anything interesting. Let him solve the problem. Miss Zhu said that well, if so. Director Lai approached Dr. Xing and said that his performance was excellent. There aren't many people like him in this city, and he asked him if he was interested in positions in the state apparatus. They would be happy to nominate him. Dr. Xing said he thinks it's not worth it. He just wants to protect conventional medicine. Xin thought that she was very surprised that the chairman of the Ministry of Education was interested in him. Maybe he was right. No way. Even though the power of the Qiu family is not the same, they could not be powerless against the Qing before. Maybe she just thinks too much. However, Xin cannot imagine that her family will soon have serious problems. Director Lai said that he is not interested in power, then he will no longer talk about it. He turned to Director Qiu and said that they should go and look at the rest. Director Qiu said it was good. Xin told Dr. Qing that Guan Zheng is the father of a taekwondo master. One day he will be able to take revenge. Dr. Qing thanked her for her kindness, and he himself thought that it didn't matter how her attitude towards him was changing, because her and his family were now on different barricades. He will soon pay her for the annulment of the marriage. Miss Zhu told Dr. Qing that if there were no more problems, she would go. Mr. and Mrs. Guan were arrested by investigators for disciplinary offenses for further investigation. Dr. Qing stopped her and told her to let her check her health. Miss Zhu said that her health is in perfect order, she has no diseases. But Dr. Qing came even closer. She was embarrassed and said that let him move away from her. She's a policewoman. Dr. Qing approached her even closer and asked that the birthmark on her forehead bothered her a lot, didn't it? She should let him help her get rid of him. Miss Zhu pulled away from him and told him to give her some time to think. And she herself thought that she had covered it so carefully with her bangs. How could he know about it? Is this traditional Chinese medicine doctor really that incredible? She invited him to have lunch together and discuss everything well. Dr. Qing said that with pleasure. How could he refuse such a beautiful lady like her? Yang Jai looked very sad and she thought, what are they waiting for? How such a great man, how can a doctor here love a buffet? Even she can't blame Dr. Qing. That Dr. Qing asked her what happened. They need to go. Yang Jai asked him if it was okay if she invited the guys along. Dr. Qing said why not. Then they went to a fish restaurant. Miss Zhu told Dr. Qing that this is the most famous fish restaurant in this city. He will definitely like it. Dr. Qing thought he had been here before. That fish restaurant again. Miss Zhu asked him if he could really get rid of this birthmark. The doctor, when he suggested that she have an operation, but she refused. Dr. Qing said that his treatment does not require surgery. She only needs to apply some herbs to her birthmark every day. An operation is not needed here. Miss Zhu said that, but it's too easy, can it really work? Dr. Qing asked her does she really want to make life difficult for herself. Miss Zhu was embarrassed and said that she can stop calling her by her first name. Let him not call her beautiful Zhu. And more than that, what about cost? Dr. Song said he would give her the recipe. She would pay for the ingredients. Other expenses are not required. She will thank him later when her birthmark is gone. Maybe his girlfriend as a thank you. Miss Zhu became even more embarrassed and said she was serious. He shouldn't be joking. Dr. Xin said okay, he won't be anymore. Yang Jai thought that thank God it was just a joke if he teased her like that. And that widow van came out to them and said that here is their grilled fish. She roasted it herself to serve her old friend. He shouldn't waste it. Dr. Qing asked what about an old friend? Does she know him? But he only tried in this city for a couple of months. How can they be old friends? Widow Wang told him that didn't he remember that when they were children, he often used her body. Is his memory really short? Dr. Qing asked that this is the Xiong Yu that he was spying on when she was taking a bath, right? But Xiong Yu's hair is red, isn't it? Or was she Xiong Yu whose chest he was touching? But she doesn't look like her. Or is she Xiong? He took off his shirt in order to cure her illness. Widow Wang said that since he couldn't remember her, it just wasn't the time for them to talk about it later. And she herself thought that, as before, his manner of behavior is unacceptable. He is such a fool. After that woman left, Dr. Qing thought that she was really bullying. How can he figure out who she is in those big sunglasses? Yang Jai said that the owner of Hua Tianda is also a powerful person. Is he also his patient? Dr. Qing said no, he thinks they were friends before. Miss Zhu thought he was speechless when he sees beautiful women. When her birthmark disappears, she will betray him 1,000 yuan and block him. She can't let people like him surround her. After they had eaten, they left the restaurant. Miss Zhu told Dr. Qing that she thought she would pay him better. If the prescription impacts, then she will pay him later. Dr. Qing said it was good. He hoped she would get better soon. And he himself thought, why is she angry with him? Why did she change her attitude so quickly? He then told Yang Jai that they had to go back to school because he had a shift today. Yang Jia said it was fine, she would read in his office. Dr. Qing asked her if she had any lessons tonight. Yang Jia said that for only one class at 3 p.m., she could have some rest. The widow van had been watching him through the window all this time. She told him that he shouldn't have appeared in front of her. He patted her. Should she tell him who she is? But she's barren. Yang Jia told Dr. Qing that she admires him and thinks that no illness is a problem for him. Dr. Zhu said that not really, because he cannot cure cancer. Yang Jai asked what is cancer. but in their age of technology, no one can cure him. Dr. Qiu told her that there are many doctors, and their talent is unbelievable better than him. For example, his grandfather. When he was alive, he could cure 3 cancer patients. Yang Jai was surprised. She asked him what method his grandfather used. If this information gets into the press, the world will be alarmed. Dr. Qiu said that his approach was not truly implemented. He also regretted it the most before his death. He keeps working on it, but there aren't really any leads. Yang Jai said that she would study very hard in order to work with him later. Dr. Qiu remembered and asked her how was her boyfriend. Yang Jai asked what Xiang Chen. Has it already been released? When the police took her statement, she told them that they were just having a little conflict. She did not say that he wanted to kill her. She wants to give him a chance to start living from scratch. He called a couple of days ago before to apologize to her. He also said that he wants a relationship with her again. Dr. Qiu asked her that she should forgive him, didn't she? He congratulates her. Yang Jai was embarrassed and said no, she had already refused him. He is too selfish. She doesn't want to date him anymore. It's just that when she refused him, he went crazy. He pursued her every day. She is just very afraid that he will hurt her. Dr. Qiu said that he thought it was not good to ignore it. It would be better for them to meet him together and finally solve this problem. He'll be here and she'll be fine, she shouldn't worry. Just then, her ex-boyfriend showed up and told her that she didn't have to look for him. He's been following them for a long time. Yang Jai asked Xiang Chen if he was following her. Xiang Chen asked her that. Besides, why is she walking with this doctor? Because of him, he almost went to jail. Yang Jai told him that they had already broken up. Now it's none of his business with whom she walks. And thank you very much Dr. Qiu, because if he had not been with her that day, he would have killed her. He only cares about his life, right? Xiang Chen told her that if she dared to break up with him, then he was sure that no one in this school would want to date her. Yang Jai didn't want to listen to him anymore and told Dr. Qiu to go. His words do not deserve attention. Dr. Qiu hugged the girl and told the guy that who wouldn't want to date her. He must listen carefully because he's her boyfriend. Xiang Chen said that he had already heard everything. They were just pretending to fool him. He won't let her go. Yang Jai then kissed Dr. Qiu. Dr. Qiu thought that she really wants this to be true. His hands subconsciously dropped to her hips. Xiang Chen was shocked and said that she had never been so active with him. Yang Jai asked him what did he see. He'd better leave. But this guy couldn't just walk away, so he swung his fist to the point of hitting Dr. Qiu. Dr. Qiu one slapped him and said he had better see a specialist. Domestic violence can only be counted as 2 numbers and about infinity. Does he really not understand the reason why she broke up with him? And if he dares to offend her, then he will make him regret it all his life. The guy said they'll take a look because he will definitely take revenge on him. And he himself thought that, of course, he was not his rival, but he could easily cope with Yang Kai. When they and Yang Kai are apart, he took out a knife and said that it did not belong to him. He could not belong to him all the more. Dr. Qiu apologized to her for allowing herself to touch her while they were pretending. Yang Jai said that everything is fine. Thanks to him she can get rid of her ex-boyfriend. And she herself thought that if she continued to pretend, would their relationship become a reality. Then she noticed something and told Dr. Zhu that someone was peeping into his office. The doctor asked the whole thing, what is this monkey really? This is his best friend and he can come here. He approached him and asked that he was really looking for him. The monkey burst into tears and said that at last he was here. When they came here, they met Yang Fei and the black bear has been talking to her for a long time. Dr. Qiu said that's great, right? How are they? The monkey said that he had better listen to himself. Yang Fei stood with the black bear in the office. She thought that Dr. Qiu should come soon. The black bear asked her if she was feeling better. She thought he was such a nice guy, but she didn't like him. But Dr. Qiu always wanted them to be a couple. She's a little afraid to say no to him outright. She should talk to him. She said that her health is recovering. He also needs to do his best in order to win the Taekwondo master. The black bear told her not to worry, because he would avenge her. He asked her that she usually rides a bicycle to school, and does she? Yang Fei said yes. The black bear asked her what brand her bike was. The girl said Phoenix. Yang Fei said that his parents bought it for him. The black bear asked how old they are. Yang Fei asked him if this was an interrogation or a conversation. The monkey thought what, so Dr. Qiu should separate black bear and Yang Fei. Yang Fei thought that if he continued like this, should she tell him about her family tree? When will Dr. Qiu return? Dr. Qiu burst in and said that this medicine today is such an exact amount. Yang Fei was very happy to see him and said that he was finally here. She told him that her health was recovering quickly. She had specially come here before to thank him. Dr. Qiu told her that her health was weak and she should not forget to take good care of herself. The black bear asked the monkey what he was doing. He's talking to Yang Fei, isn't he? The monkey told him that they had better have lunch because he was very hungry. The black bear asked him what he was eating all day, but why is he still small? Yang Fei asked if Yang Jai is also here. Yang Jai said yes, she had lunch with Dr. Qiu. Yang Jai then told Dr. Qiu that it was too late for her to go back to class. Dr. Qiu gave her a book and said that this book was the basis of traditional Chinese medicine. She can read it when she is free. Yang Fei thought that she didn't expect them to spend the whole morning together, after which she said that she also wanted to study traditional Chinese medicine. Could he teach her too? Dr. Qiu asked if they had agreed on this. The black bear and the monkeys came to the cafe. The black bear told the monkey that he had almost lured Yang Fei to dinner. Why did he bring him here? The monkey told him that okay, if the ghost hadn't come there, the two of them must have been talking about the origin of man. The black bear said that he just wanted to fix the problems in their relationship. The monkey asked him if he hadn't noticed that Yang Fei liked the ghost and not him. The black bear asked, is it really serious? He wants them to become a couple. Why then does he prevent them? The monkey said that the two of them forgot about her feelings. She didn't want to force herself, but she didn't want to let her Qiu down either. He will give him one piece of advice. He should not show her his feelings, otherwise his life will turn into a drama. The black bear said that's great. He'll text him that he gave up Yang Fei and he should grab the chance. He asked the monkey how he knew so much. He remembers that he was not in a relationship. The monkey told him that although they did not eat pork, they could see a pig earlier. He is a love advisor who has already played so many love games. Yang Fei told Dr. Qiu that she had already checked the other side. There were no books there. Dr. Sam said that he remembers that there were 2 books before. Managers in must have taken one. He said there was no way out. Perhaps there is some material on his phone. She must read them first. She should let him find some videos they'll watch. Maybe this is it. It was necessary to have a video that sent him Yang Jai. He laughed awkwardly and said he didn't think it was. Let him find what he wants. Yang Fei said she would help. She took his phone and said that there was no need to look for him in the gallery. He should just find the video in the messenger. After which she said that the black bear sent him a message. She read it and, embarrassed, ran away and told Dr. Qiu that she had to go now. Dr. Qiu asked what happened, what he wrote. He picked up the phone and began to read the messages that the black bear had sent him. The black bear wrote to him that, as he understood, only he likes Jan Faith and not the black bear. He must seize his chance. A beauty like her cannot belong to anyone. He has to do it tonight. Dr. Qiu told the Tong teacher that he would visit her father every day. The Tong teacher said it was great. Her mom takes care of him. It must feel relieved when they visit them. Dr. Qiu said yes, he would not let her down. They went to the hospital room and were met by the mother of the Tong teacher. She asked her daughter that this was Dr. Qiu, right? The Tong teacher told his mother that yes, he is so young, but his abilities are incredible. Dr. Qiu greeted Tong Master's mother. The woman told him that she didn't care how much they had to pay. She just hopes her husband wakes up. Dr. Qiu said that he and Miss Tong are friends. It's fine, he won't charge. And he himself thought that vegetarians bring money to this house. How can he take it away? And told the woman not to worry, he will try to do everything to cure him and raise him to his feet. The Tong teacher told him that it was very hot in his father's room. They should change their clothes. She asked him to change clothes. The mother of the Tong teacher thought he was a wonderful person, an amazing, responsible, and handsome guy, so suitable for the role of her son-in-law. Master Tong told Dr. Qiu that she had specially prepared clothes for him, and asked if it suits him. Dr. Qiu said that, yes, she is quite prudent. The Tong teacher asked him if he would mind if while he was treating her father, she would wipe the sweat from his face. Hearing this, Dr. Qiu blushed. The Tong teacher asked why did he blush? Is it really that hot in here? Dr. Qiu said no, it doesn't matter, he's just a little upset. The Tong teacher said okay, then they can start. Dr. Qiu thought her body was just great, like a gym teacher. Then they came to her father. Dr. Qiu said the preparations were complete. He will treat her father. The Tong teacher said it was fine, she would try not to disturb him. Dr. Qiu got to work. He thought that through the silver corner, he would transfer weak air energy into his body and gradually dissolve his blood clot. He must concentrate on this procedure. Well, I felt something. This has never happened. He feels that they are united with him. He can clearly hear his heartbeat. What's more, its internal air force manipulation is much more flexible. It can even dissolve his blood clots directly through a brain blood vessel. It's because he made love to Jiao Lan, isn't it? He asked his grandfather what did he teach him before. The Tong teacher told him that an hour had already passed. Does he want to take a break? Dr. Qiu asked, is it really serious? Dr. Qiu thought that he must have been in a super concentration stage, which is why he forgot about the time. He told her that he was almost done with the procedure, she should just let him focus again. But all the clothes of the Tong teacher got wet. He looked at her and wondered how he could concentrate in a situation like this. Just controlling yourself is already a big effort. And he told her that he thought she should take a shower. He could handle it himself. The Tong teacher was embarrassed and said that she was just taking care of him, so she forgot about her clothes. She will be out now. She went to take a shower and thought that even though he told her he wouldn't charge, how could she afford it? He worked so hard. What should she do to repay him? She came out of the shower. Her mother met her. She told her daughter that they needed to go to the living room. Does she need to talk to her about something? Teacher Tonga was shocked. She asked her mother what she was telling her to seduce Dr. Xiong. Mom said yes, she thinks he's a good option. The Tong teacher told her that she thought they would just let him heal her father first. She didn't care about love. The woman told her that she should take a look at herself. Father's treatment is the most important. And by the way, the doctor is a really nice guy. She sees that there is something between them. You just want them to become a couple. She is already old. She has an eye for good people. Moreover, she is no longer young. It is time for her to think about her personal life. The Tong teacher became embarrassed and, moving away from her mother, said that they had better talk about it later. She is not well now. She will go to rest. The woman told her that if she did not refuse, she would take it as consent. When the Tong teacher left, the woman said she made her nervous. If she does not attract him, then another woman will. 1. Thank God that she has many relatives. She'll see what they can do to help her. She called her friend and said she wanted him to be her son-in-law. Can she come to her house tomorrow and give advice? The Tong teacher thought, how can a woman seduce a man? The teacher's mother's friend Tong ended the conversation. The woman's daughter asked her who it was. Is it her aunt? The woman said yes. She said she had just targeted a man for her daughter. She heard that he is a doctor and he has abilities and personality, and he is handsome. The daughter said that she also wanted to see her son-in-law and offered to go to them tomorrow.